last we left off. Go ahead and turn that off. So last we left off, the party had ventured over to the Church of the Rock once again, this time in an attempt to forge a working alliance with them, in hopes that they may take on the New Republic and the Queen together. Doran had done his shifting business immediately upon arriving, but nevertheless the party was welcomed in. Oh boy, we have green screens. Doran immediately began chatting with Savaris about the church, looking for more specific answers on the rock and the glow, as Malcolm listened on. The rest of the party split up and waited patiently as they listened in on Doran's conversation. Eventually, Doran began driving the point home that they were there seeking the church's help, and the Cloaked Ranger's efforts against the Queen. Bess chimed in, framing the issue as one pertaining to the safety of all citizens of Direwood, which helped Doran's case, and saw Savaris agree to try and help, and so Savaris rushed off in an attempt to arrange a meeting with the assembly of the church for the party. The party took this opportunity to speak alone with Malcolm, informing him of their ventures beneath the Mages Guild Tower, which he was very interested in. Doran specifically wanted to know if Malcolm could help them get the clockwork spider working, which he could, but they'd have to bring it to him. He kept insisting that he belonged here, at the church, much to the party's suspicion. Six quipped about Malcolm's abandonment of Marcus and the rats, and Malcolm accused him of change for the worse, stating that at the end of the day, the rats were still only the rats. Six made a witty remark or two about not having changed his clothes, and frustrated Malcolm eventually walked away, which Six also quipped about. Bess and Doran did their best to get Six back to a more polite... They tried to get him to be more polite from that point on. Bess and Six went for a walk. Alistair investigated the outside of the church, and Doran discussed the dream he had pertaining to the rock with a random churchgoer, while the party awaited Savaris' return. Eventually, all reconvened, and Savaris informed the party they had secured a meeting with an assembly in the morning. He offered them a place to stay and a meal beneath the church, which the party accepted, despite Six believing it was a trap.
Comes my soup
It was a
story.
possibility.
It may or may not be still. The party was led down into an underground sanctuary. Beds, storage, dining areas, a complete living space, lit by torchlight beneath the church itself. There, they conversed with Yorlin Seer, the priest they'd met previously, Savaris, and Azuric, the large tank of a man who wasn't interested in the church, but was being paid quite well to personally guard the assembly. That night, after a mishap with some stew and some important conversations about what matters to the party, our adventurers found their rest. However, the rest was once again disturbed by an ominous, multi-voiced presence, promising the party a question each and a prompt arrival of something. And we'll pick back up on that night, rewinding just a little bit, as a couple of you had some specific objectives before you slept that we need to address. Bess, you specifically were praying. Bring us
Yeah,
back there.
baby.
Oh my.
I need you, if you would please. You're on the top. It's top right. Roll a religion check with advantage.
Where are we?
You guys are here.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Doran
I was
is over
zoomed
here.
super in.
And Ella, yeah,
What am I rolling? A religion check?
with
Oh.
advantage.
Do not try to put Neo energy on your gum. It does not taste good. It's
Thanks.
very tart. And just
Didn't need advantage. Natural 20.
It's just a gross situation.
You know, I didn't think this would happen. I did. Okay. She rolled a natural fucking 20. Okay.
Bye, Olin.
Have
No.
you been really warm in here all day? Hold on.
I mean, I just turned my AC off. I'm okay.
No,
I
it's just
suppose.
your dice. They're kind of hot.
Yeah, yeah, for real.
Oh,
I was
No.
sweating.
It's just my face is really hot and red, and I don't like it.
Well, then
Stop
you have
it.
one chance. Oh, no, lost it.
Oh, okay.
You could have been like, yeah, it is. Wink. But
Thanks. With a natural 20, which I wasn't anticipating. Bess, as you pray to Mistra, asking for guidance, you sit down, close your eyes, and you're caught by surprise as one of the nearby lanterns briefly flashes and then dims as the flame is snuffed out. Actually, Six and Alistair are in this room right now. You notice this as well. Just as you're laying down, trying to sleep, there's a quick flash in the room. It catches your attention. You look over, and this torch facing you has dimmed out. But from the
mentally,
lantern,
Can I link up with 6 and just say the word ghost?
you can.
I'm gonna do that and then roll back over.
Okay, ghost back to sleep. From the lantern, a dim, glowing blue-white orb passes through the glass and floats toward Bess. It dances almost playfully through the air until it lands at the edge of your bed. And a voice, Bess, you're unsure of whether only you or everyone else can hear, says to you something that I'm going to bring you to Secrets for again. Now you know. Okay. This voice says to you, balance, Elizabeth. These lands are Oh, are you writing
wanna
it
take
word for
notes.
word? Okay.
I like to write the word for word.
Okay.
What did you say?
Do you want me to
Balance?
just send it to you?
No, I want you to speak it.
Okay. It says, balance, Elizabeth. These lands are unbalanced. Direwood is unbalanced. The forces within you are unbalanced. Balance them, and peace you will find.
You said beef I'll find?
And peace you will find.
Thank you.
Mistress...
I mean,
It continues. Miss-
oh.
Mistress Chosen, do not fail. You will not fail.
Is there more?
It begins to dissipate.
Can I touch it before it goes?
You reach out to touch it, and the light passes through your fingers as it dissipates into the room and slowly becomes nothing. Just a few sparks from it pass through your hand, and it's like nothing was there. I'm gonna take us back.
Thank you.
Overdose on it. You
Okay.
you just have too much. You have a bad trip, and it goes. Oh hi.
Hi. So, from Alistair's and Six's perspective, there's a flash in the room, just a little flash from the lantern. It goes out, and then this little blue-white orb floats over to Bess, and it sits on her bedside, and she looks down at it and stares and nods slowly. And then after about 20 seconds or so, it starts to dissipate until there's nothing, and you see her put her hand out toward it, and it floats through her hand as if it weren't there until the room returns to normal. Minus, or sans one lit torch.
I'm gonna reconnect with 6 and go definitely ghosts. Good night.
Cool. Good night, Alistair. What was that?
Hmm?
What?
What?
That was just Jeff.
What an odd name.
I
Is
know.
this Jeff with a J or Jeff with a G?
G.
Geoff?
No, Geff. Geff.
G-E-F.
Yeah.
My name Geff.
Hey, I can't believe you said such a dead meme.
Oh, it's still funny though.
It's
No.
pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you guys just gonna go to bed then? Let
Do
that
you have
oddity
any more
pass?
questions? I mean, you asked what that was. It's Jeff.
Who's Jeff?
My new friend.
Kidoki.
Don't worry about it. It's okay.
I wish I could make friends with lights.
6 is jealous.
I'll add it to
I
my list of
cast-
things not to worry about.
The cantrip dancing lights.
You can produce a very similar effect.
And I just make them dance around his bed.
Alistair's or 6's?
Alistair's.
I lazily try to swat them away and just go.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure actually the exact
I-
same thing would happen. Your hand would just pass through him.
I'd like to make a perception check.
For what?
Just see if I can tell any more from what Bess is saying.
From what Bess is
Remind me
saying?
in the morning to put that you talk
Well,
to ghosts.
I do
Okay,
not
here's
believe
the
that
problem.
That
Here's
a blue light named Jeff.
here's the
my,
problem.
Is my thing.
I'm glad you rolled a nat 20, and that's 2 nat 20s a row in the game, but saying you're going to roll something and then rolling it before I know what I want you to roll doesn't really work. You're trying to discern
for it.
if Bess is being honest?
I guess if there's anything more I can pull from it, because I do not believe that a blue light named Jeff just danced across the bed.
That would be an
I
insight
rolled
check.
in disbelief. All right.
Disbelief roll.
With the nat 20, yeah, you think this is stupid. Okay, you still
You
roll a
got a
20.
regular fucking
Yeah,
20.
and now just a dirty 20. Okay, so that's good. Because you're insight checking another player, Bess, I'm gonna let you handle this one.
By what?
He got a 20. He's trying to actually
I
Bess.
honestly don't believe that a blue light named Jeff danced on your bed, so I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I can.
Since you're not actually asking her
discern
anything,
here.
I will take care of this. With a dirty 20 insight, you're quite certain she's just
Oh,
making
Billy.
shit up. You're quite certain, and kind of observing, and we'll still kind of use that perception, observing the dancing lights she's putting over Alistair. They're not quite the same.
Mhm.
You don't know what just happened, but she was very transfixed on it. And
Okay.
if it were just like an anomaly, something weird she did, she wouldn't be so
Fucking now one.
nonchalant about it.
Yeah. Okay.
You can glean it was certainly arcane or religious in nature, whatever just happened.
Copy that.
But she's definitely holding back.
Never mind.
There we go.
See, mine are
Plus
actual
32.
my actual stats. So my O really is what my insight is, and this one is actually my deception check.
Very big not truth. You do. Right. Okay. With that,
There, I have smug set up as one of my actual traits.
I hate it. With that, unless there's anything else for you guys, going to bed wondering what just happened. Alistair probably not carrying as much.
I mean,
quite
he's
tired.
literally sleeping a bed away because he doesn't want to
Yeah.
be close to them.
Doran,
What's my name?
you
Don't wear it
also
out.
had your own goals for tonight before you slept.
Yep.
A religion check, please, for what you're trying to do, which would have been at disadvantage had you not spoken with Barrow. Specifically about what you spoke with him about. Specifically about.
A boot?
About. A 12. Okay. I'm gonna take you to Secret Secrets for just a minute now.
Bye, everyone. I'll miss you. I'm lying. I'm not going to miss them.
I won't miss him either. As you step into this other room and Savaris closes the door behind you, you sit down, you prepare yourself, and you just concentrate sort of. You try to let yourself relax. You try to do as Barrow had instructed you. What are you saying in your prayer? Or
So
even just the
Glow-
gist of it.
Mr. Glow, I'm not one to pray. I actually am normally very adverse to religion and faith. Haven't seen very eye to eye, but everything so far has pointed to you being very, very real, and that intrigues me. And I think for the first time I found something I might align with in some ways. I'd like to know more. I'd like to speak with you and get as close as possible, and ascend if that's possible. Thank you
sing
very
this
much.
out loud or in your head?
I'm whispering it out loud.
You whisper that out loud, and you sit for a moment, and you're starting to think, okay, maybe this is kind of bullshit. Nothing's happening. You don't feel anything. When suddenly you feel a presence, and it's behind you, and you look back, and there's nothing there. And then it's in front of you, and you look in front of you, and you can't pinpoint there's something here and it's kind of freaking you out. Till you realize it's you. There's something on you and you start looking around and it's like your bag of holding is watching you.
I kind of look back. I look at it. Hello?
It's almost pulsating. There's something drawing you to it.
I shove my hand inside of it.
You shove your hand inside. You don't feel anything out of the ordinary. Everything that should be there is there, and you pull it back out. But your hand is... as you look at your hand, there's just like a little bit of hysterium dust. And it's glowing slightly. More than hysterium normally does on your hand. And from it, you can almost hear a whisper.
Put it up
Almost
to my
as if
ear.
something's... You hold it up to your ear, and you hear, soon. Soon.
I I actually do not wipe my hand off, and I look very uncomfortable with my hand being somewhat dirty, and I kind of get ready for bed then. Kind of nod and go, well, this will be fun.
Okay. You go to bed, I'll bring you back.
I'll hang out again.
There you go.
COVID party.
COVID
Oh boy.
squared.
With that, with those two things taken care of, we can now fast forward back to you guys having your dreams interrupted by the voice promising a prompt arrival of something. And then you all waking up, you don't know actually exactly when, but you presume in the morning. Eventually.
I open my door to
Sure.
my little. After I pack up my bedroll and kind of look at my hand, is it still doing the thing?
Your hand is clean.
Interesting. Kind of walk out.
What was with your hand?
The second I walk out of the room, I almost yelling, "Good morning!"
You hear your voice echo slightly throughout the halls, and the rest of you who are maybe just kind of stirring in bed, just kind of starting to wake up. It's kind of peaceful, torch light underground, everything's quiet, and then just, good morning! echoes around.
Noting that, oh, I don't know. Never mind. Go ahead.
Hearing him, I very lightly mumbled, "Fuck off." Then I'll get up.
Okay,
I am up.
certainly.
What is this?
That is a small table. Circular table.
I'm going to sit down at it.
Okay, sure.
I've gone from laying to standing and sitting all within the span of a minute.
Great.
Would it be weird to have a second set of clothes that looked exactly like the suit you regularly wear, except they're made out of pajama material?
That'd be pretty sweet, actually. I'd
Yeah, I
respect
think
that a
I
lot.
think I'd really like that.
I'd respect that a lot.
Need pajama armor.
Grind during your sleep so you can dream of your gains.
Oh, fuck up, Isaac.
So, what's everybody doing this morning?
I'm going to the breakfast area and scrounging up something. Just
Okay.
something easy to eat, like bread and scraps. Doran's in a good mood.
Okay,
Oh, you know what? Bess is gonna go over there too.
sure. So it sounds like you
Get
guys are
some breakfast.
gonna have a little breakfast. There's nobody here at the moment, at least from your walk over here to the eating area. You don't see anyone, but
Right.
you're able to find bread and water and like a very basic breakfast rather easily.
What was with Doran's hand?
Nothing that you're aware of.
Oh. Okay.
You would notice me glancing to my right hand semi-frequently.
Something that you're now aware of.
What's up with your hand?
Is it even really there? Are any of us really here? Let me see. 6, lean over.
No.
Can I reach
Fair-
out and pinch Doran?
You can. And you
Let's
do.
try.
Certainly.
Hi.
Did that feel real?
I poke her in the nose with my right hand. Yep, my hand's
Is-
still there. Good morning. I'm going to stand up and start leaving after eating.
Is this normal weirdness, Doran, or something new?
That honestly depends on you. Is this normal weirdness? Is this something new?
Hey, before you leave, why don't we have a little group discussion here? Because
About
we're
what?
about to go in front of the grand poobah of the rock, and I feel like we should probably have a plan of have a plan.
All right, our
Sounds
plan
like a good idea.
is to convince them to help us.
Is it? Holden, can you remind me? Did we say that we would bring no harm to the Church of the Rock?
You guys have promised that you yourselves wouldn't. Every time that Sting was brought up, yeah. I think actually you have mentioned that the Cloaked Rangers have no ill regard. Because
Okay.
I think you apologized on the. I think Doran specifically apologized on the Cloaked Rangers' behalf.
Yeah.
So I don't think you've explicitly stated like we will bring you no harm, but you have like you've insinuated quite strongly, I think.
Okay. If we are truly trying to work with the Church of the Rock, should we be dragging them into all of this? Is this not something we should handle ourselves?
Right now,
I guess I'm having second thoughts about our intentions for being here.
no, I don't think we're dragging them into this. I believe we are working on an alliance that might last longer than just dealing with our current issue. But my main point of this is if they are our ally, they're not our enemy, and they're not allies to the New Republic. Because as they've said so far, they've actually sent, missionaries there, and they've been kind of buddy-buddy. If we can show them that the New Republic is bad, we stop that from happening. We have an ally on our side who, if they are able to help us, can help us if they choose to. We're not forcing their hand into sending people into a fight. We are simply creating a friendship between two groups who want the best for Direwood. And saving Alistair's papa. I give Alistair a
So-
big thumbs up.
When they ask us as a group what our goal is, we should probably be pretty unified in what that is. We're just seeking to gain the alliance of the Church of the Rock.
Gain the alliance, save Direwood.
Save the cheerleader, save the world.
I point at Six with a very knowing smile. However, what we shouldn't say is, I like Direwood how it is now. And I kind of look a little bit to Alistair. You're muted, bud.
Whoops. I don't remember why I muted myself. I didn't mean Direwood specifically, and I realize now that that's kind of what it was geared towards. So I do have a separate answer for that, if it gets asked again.
Good, it kind of does defeat our purpose if four of us are like, we want a new Direwood that's better, and you go, yeah, but I like it.
Yeah, I realized after I thought about that for a bit that I kind of fucked that one over.
We need to come across nice, professional, not rude, no quips. And I look directly at Six.
Maybe a tasteful quip.
A tasteful quip is always appreciated. Not a
Honestly, I'm not sure I could avoid it.
But we, as much as we're going to come across as unified and as speaking on the behalf of the Cloaked Rangers, I think they're also very interested in us as individuals. Be yourself. And that does mean you too, Six. You are deeper involved in this than you understand. Than I understand. And Bess understands. Alistair understands it just right, though.
I wink at 6.
I understand
That's
why
gonna
they
glare
would
at
want to
Alistair.
recruit us.
I don't know as much of its recruiting.
Oh yeah, did we want to see if one of us wants to try to get a rock in our head?
I do believe I asked the glow itself, and it said soon.
Wait, what? Did we
Oh.
know this?
No.
I look
asked-
at Beth
You
and I
tell.
say, I love it when my friends hide things from me.
Oh no, I prayed to it. I prayed last night as I went to bed, sleep, just to
I'll
see.
explain later, 6.
Just when I wanted to see if I could get a response, and I was specifically asking if it'd be possible for me to ascend and to know more, and it said soon, and covered my hand in glowy dust.
Did
Ah.
it hurt?
Like glitter.
I hold up my hand, and using prestidigitation, I try to mimic the kind of glow,
You can do so.
like this.
Yeah, it looks like his hand is covered in fine hysterium dust that is glowing slightly more than hysterium typically would. So it's still quite dim, but it is like his hand is covered. Yeah, kind of like purple glitter, just glowing slightly.
So
Hmm.
I do believe that if any of us is going to attempt to get a stone put in the head, it should be me, as I've actually asked directly. Or 6, just because he might not die during it. But I look at 6 and I have this big shit-eating grin on my face. I think it'd be fun.
I would try it.
Okay, but if you
I
are to
would
get a rock
love
in
to
your
get stoned
head,
with you.
and then you're like, let's say then you become brainwashed to be well, not brainwashed, but let's say you lose all of your current loyalties. Is this something that we should act against and try
Then
to
kill
take
me.
the rock? Should we try to separate you from the rock at that point?
Or kill
If
me.
you're no longer you? Okay.
If I am no longer me, then I don't want to exist.
Why don't we have you write up a contract right now before this happens?
Of course. I start writing a contract that says, if at any point during this I do not act like me and do not and betray all the loyalties to the Cloaked Rangers and the Bronze Toads, I give them permission to try to set me straight or to kill me, regardless of what I say in the future. Signed, Doran. Lorenz Celio Helix III.
It dibs on
Can
the
we get
corpse.
that notarized? Is anyone here a notary?
I am, and I notarized it.
I didn't get my stamp renewed this year.
Fake notary, but as far as Doran's concerned, he's a notary.
I
He's a
hate that if anyone in this group was a licensed notary, it would be Doran.
He immediately goes, I can do that, and I start notarizing it with all my equipment. Just like that. Boom. Yeah.
Thank you.
And best, only you can do it.
What?
Oh,
You heard him?
I trust you to be the one to make that judgment call.
If he gets
Good
the
choice,
stone
Doran.
in his head and we do end up having to kill him, I want the corpse.
No, I would like to be burned to a crisp.
Okay, fine.
That's more of a friend request than like.
I respect you enough to honor that.
I'm going to take the contract, and I would like to tuck it into my book. Which book am I going to put that in? I'll put that in my Daringle's Spelling and Spells book.
Contract to kill Doran.
Okay.
Do
Like,
I feel
do
like
we
it's
want to go
more
ahead?
of a POA kind of document here. Like, if you can't take care of yourself, we'll take care of you.
Sure. So
Should we just go ahead and fill out our final wills and testaments here, or what's
I
going on?
could notarize them, but I think that's a waste of time because I don't anticipate anything being able to kill you 6 at this point. I've seen you drink literal poison.
So you kind of ate the
That's,
staff that was oozing venom.
So at this point, I think you're fine.
We'll see. Everybody's allergic to something.
Here's
Alright?
a sobriety.
Indeed.
Since you're an alcoholic, and it's fun. Now, I think we should come on and try to get on the same page for what our perfect Direwood is.
Our
I
perfect
don't
what?
think we should make it all be exactly the same, though, because that's going to be staged.
All right, then I think we're ready.
Did anyone else notice that we're trapped down here?
Is there a shut door?
I mean, there's a few of them.
Well, I meant a door that leads out.
Oh, the door that leads out is shut.
Did you check?
I mean, I no.
So, without any evidence, you are claiming that we are locked down here.
Yes.
We're doing that in the actual meeting. I'm going to get up and head towards the door to leave.
Okay. All right, you're heading towards the area where you were told to meet, or?
I want to see if he's right and if we can actually, if we're locked down here.
Okay, so you head over toward that door. As you're doing that, the rest of the party continues to eat. You go over to the door. You just go to try it. Oh, it's locked.
I go, I'm not going to tell Six, and I'm going to head back.
Okay. Yeah. Doran leaves. You guys continue eating and just chatting. About a minute later, he comes back and just sits down. Yep.
Totally fine.
Welcome back.
Nothing wrong. We are not locked down here. You are completely incorrect.
Do I notice that Doran's completely not telling the truth?
Can I roll for a
You
very
can roll
big-
not because everybody's gonna be not believing you. Yeah. If you guys want to make an insight check, you can certainly try to beat a 27.
Bess, could I see that contract real quick? I think Doran is acting against the best interests of the Bronze Toads, perhaps lying, not acting himself.
Oh, here, I'm gonna hand Six a dagger.
I look at Six with a dagger and laugh. I think
Yeah, you
you're,
don't really need that.
I think you're actually weaker with that.
Give it back.
All right.
Give it back. That episode is give it back. No.
Yeah, you are completely locked down here, and if the chamber starts filling with gas, my money's on Six to survive.
I have a spell that can get me and one other out.
Or we wait.
Perhaps we should search for the secret door.
Or I can just go stand where we're supposed to meet them and wait.
I kind of think
Okay.
that my option should be the last resort.
I do not want to go poking around where we're not supposed to.
I love doing that.
I
That's
like
really why I've died numerous times, or almost died numerous times.
I like it when people like me.
Is this like a little bridge?
Yes. You have seen it.
Does it
when
just
you...
go to a wall?
No, that's why I was just opening up. This is.
Oh, okay.
This is like the path in between the rooms here.
Okay.
In fact, here, just to make it a little more clear, because that's a thing I can do. Oops, that's not what I meant to do.
I accidentally unblacked the entire map.
Shit. There's a basilisk down here.
This,
Ha!
We could probably handle it.
that, and reveal.
Is this a doorway here?
Here you are. What's that?
Is this a doorway here? It kind of looks like the floor continues.
Oh,
under
yes.
the darkness.
I mean, if you kind of just peer over, there appears to be
I
like a
would like
sort
to
of
check,
like
yeah.
just an unfinished passageway corridor.
Okay.
room of
Six
some sort.
stands up and stretches, and he's going to he's gonna go check. Is this a wall, doorway, something?
Yep, you have noticed. In fact, here, I'll just do this because Doran has been in there, and you guys have passed through that corridor enough.
Okay.
You would know
Okay.
that this exists.
Okay. All right.
In fact, I'll even just boom.
Oh,
well-
hi, Jables. Hello. Hello.
Looks like the only place we haven't sort of examined or seen is over here. So I'm gonna go just see what's going on over here.
So after having the conversation about not wanting to poke around where you don't belong, Six just immediately starts walking around the place, just checking everywhere.
I immediately go, oh no, and I head towards where we're supposed to meet with everyone.
Okay, and Six, it is just a storage room.
Okay. All right.
Certain areas you hadn't explored.
Yeah.
Okay. Does everybody else follow Dorn eventually into the meeting room?
I will eventually. Yes, I will go
Eventually.
to the meeting room.
All right, you all
After
pass
I have
through.
Satisfied myself.
Sure.
I mean,
Gross.
by
Gross.
looking at the doors, not
Real
at-
gross.
Never mind.
All right. As you guys
Masturbating everywhere he
pass
walks.
into there, You will discover actually here. I'll put you like back here because you will discover. Where is it that as you enter? Oh boy! Now that you guys are there, this is slightly more complicated. I had this whole thing arranged. As you enter, you would find that everybody is already there.
Oh, okay, good.
There, Adric is standing up. Oh, you can't see that. God damn it. Adric is standing up on here. There are a couple of guards as well. And there are what appear to be 3 of those simply cloaked monks. There is Malcolm, Yorlin, and one woman you do not recognize. But as you guys are entering, I want everyone to make a perception check, please.
Big looky roll.
A big
okay?
looky roll, please.
All right, mine's not named that. Ooh, baby, a nat 20. Oh, 6 sucks. 13. Oh, never mind. Best is worse. Come on, get a little 11. Come on, Alistair. I want an 11. Damn. 12.
Okay.
12.
One thing you all notice, because he's not hiding it very well, or it's not hidden very well. As you pass through, this wall is different than all the others. That is the only thing you all notice. You just kind of peer over. Oh, that's differently constructed. Odd. Very suspicious. Otherwise, Doran, I'm going to take you to Secret Secrets for like 15 seconds to tell you 2 other things.
Okay.
Firstly, as you enter the room with a nat 20 and a total of 24, Adric. Last night, he seemed very carefree, just a big dude just hanging out. He's shuffling around. He's a little antsy right now. Watching over you guys from this like 5-foot tall pedestal or lift, whatever you want to call it. Stage, kind of. Also, you notice that the floor here, and I'm just going to start pinging other places so nobody is suspicious. Right, there we go. The floor in that little center area that everybody's kind of around looks very different. It looks very... You have your suspicions about it. You don't know what is up with it, but it looks not right.
Okay.
Okay. That's all.
That was more than 15 seconds.
You're right.
Fill out for my
Right.
mom. That
So after
needs
more
a
than
notary.
15 seconds.
Anyway.
Holden
So
does
you-
not know how to count.
Yep, don't know how to count. As you guys all enter, immediately Yorlin, who is like the first to see you, looks over. Welcome. I'm glad you all could make it.
Why is the door locked?
The front door? We usually keep it locked just for security's sake.
Okay, I just wanted to know.
Anyway, if you would all kindly step in, this is, and he points to the person next to him. This, oh boy, I gotta switch my notes around.
Let me get to my name category under my
Uh,
class.
okay.
Under my background notes.
He says next to him, this is Gabriel. He is my conduit. Of course, I'm Yorlin. He points to this cloaked figure next to Malcolm. He says, that is Odo, Malcolm's conduit. And of course, you know Malcolm. And then he points to this woman. This is Tara Peacekeeper. A member of the Assembly, and her conduit beside her, Harding. We, the full assembly of the church, will be meeting with you today and hearing you. If you would please step into the center of this area. So
Can I
we
ask
may
a question about it first?
Sorry.
Why
certainly.
is the construction of the center of that area different than everything else? It's a little weird looking.
For the ritual. A simple ritual, we won't do anything to you. It is simply for the rock, so that we may be guided by it.
Speaking of the rock,
It's
I
the
had
hot
a dream
seat.
last night.
I would love to discuss that, but I think and he looks around and Tara, Peacekeeper, seems a little impatient. She has her arms crossed and you're not sure, maybe she's tapping her foot. She seems a little impatient. Malcolm looks a little nervous, and he looks around.
Do
and
any of the names sound familiar?
I mean, you know Malcolm. Tara, Peacekeeper does not, and the names of the conduits do not. 6.
Can you take me to Secret Secrets real quick?
I can for a moment, absolutely.
This is like my second time in Secret Secrets.
Yeah, you don't end up here very often. What can I do for you?
I don't. Something that I had wanted to do this morning, that I sort of forgot about, but I had intended to do, was
Sure.
to sort of give myself a once over and look at the tattoos and see if they have changed or if they're displaying anything different or anything like that.
Certainly, make an investigation check. We can make
Absolutely.
I can't remember the word for it. Retrospective investigation. That's the word I'm looking for.
There we go.
Okay, 19. The 19, they have changed as they normally do.
Mhm.
Most of them don't stick out to you as anything well, they're all abnormal. They always are. Except kind of checking yourself in the morning when you were eating, you kind of look down in your reflection in the water. You noticed there's one right in the center of your forehead. The shape of a lion. And it's a little odd for it to be so perfectly centered.
Fascinating.
Usually they're just kind of all over wherever, but this one right in the middle.
I assume. Should we tell everybody? I assume they would have noticed that, probably.
Sure, we can mention that. Yeah, let's head back.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
The rest of me isn't. And I'm wondering, like, every time I've had allergic reactions, it's been like that. So I'm like, uh-oh, am I good? But I didn't eat anything out of the normal.
I don't know.
Are you allergic to the coronavirus?
Probably.
I think most people are. Anyway,
Yeah.
So that was just a little retrospective investigation for 6. You guys would have noticed earlier in the day as you were having breakfast that he was kind of staring into his water quite a bit and touching his forehead a little. And 6, do you want to mention or?
There is. I kind of gave myself a once over to check my tattoos.
This is
and
earlier.
there appears to be one basically in the middle of my forehead there in the shape of a lion, and it's not that common to be that symmetrical in this kind of the center of my body.
I would have pointed out and gone, it's like a pimple for you.
Can I poke it?
Please.
I poke it.
Your hand burnt. No, it's fine. It's just his forehead.
What an interesting creature, 6. So interesting. So wish I read a
I
book
like
like you.
All right. With that in mind, fast forwarding back as you guys enter, and Yorlin is gesturing to the rest of the room and saying, "If we may begin."
Well, the only reason I mentioned this dream is the rock told me to prepare for its arrival. All right, now we can prepare. Now we can go.
You see, like, all 6 of them surrounding this area kind of, like, stand up a bit straight and go, what? And, like, you can see them looking at each other like, what?
It said, prepare for my arrival. A question for me each. Soon enough. Prepare.
I had it too.
They're all kind of eyeing each other.
Did we all have that?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
we did.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you guys didn't hear that last night? Maybe it was just because we were down here.
Locked in.
When we're given a time, it's something maybe that was worth mentioning. But I digress. We should start this meeting. And I just smile largely as I walk into the arena area.
Okay. You step. Why don't you all pick one of the 4 squares to stand on?
Oh, I see. I'll take.
I'm not trying to
this,
ping.
this one.
All right.
6,
I
you're
take
not-
my 4 squares, but I kind of I lean towards the
Oh.
corner.
You kind of okay. Sure. You
Not
can
not
do
like
that.
lean, actually lean like with my elbows on the
You're just
side,
standing a
like,
little closer to it,
I
yeah.
kind of lilt towards the corner a bit.
Sure. And 6, I guess you'd be on this one.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, as you all step into the center here, Yorlin speaks. Thank you very much. If we all may. And he kind of just extends his hands to his sides, and everybody else around you does the same and bows their heads.
I
And
do it
Okay.
too. I go, peer pressure. And I extend my arms and bow.
Yorlin says, "Let us pray for the guidance of the glow, and with it, find the answers we seek." And they all hold their heads down for another 5, 10, 15, 20 seconds. And eventually Tara lifts her head, and then one by one they all lift their heads. And Tara is the first to speak. She immediately says, "With that, why are you here?"
Can I answer?
No, I want all of you to answer. Why are you here?
I'll start.
To see.
If Beth starts speaking, I would not say that.
Best would say to seek your help.
In Direwood.
Oh, oh. Honestly, I got bored. I was a traveling con artist. I was someone who went around and tricked people. I pretended to be things I wasn't. I lied and I cheated. And that wasn't fun anymore. It wasn't me. I came here because this place interested me. Giant explosion, giant rats. It's not something you see outside while traveling, as far as reach. So I came here for fun. However, I've also discovered who I am and what I want to do. And for the first time in my life, I kind of smile and look around. I think I've discovered a faith that interests me. And that's fun. Fun. This is all so new.
Tara's eyes move to Bess.
I live here. This is my home.
She nods.
I grew up here, and I don't really have anywhere else to go. I don't have any family to bring me elsewhere. I'm just kind of here.
Her eyes move to Alistair.
Honestly, I'm here on a job. I worked for a while as a not a hitman's such a broad term. It's not hitman. It's I actually can't think of the phrase I had in my head.
Mercenary?
No,
Bounty hunter?
no, not the killing kind. The helping. Like a
Mercenary of fortune?
Giggly
Soldier
dude.
of fortune?
no, like a not a guild member. God damn it, man. I worked as
Okay.
someone who helped people. I can't think of the fucking term, and it's throwing me off completely now. When I was young, Direwood burst, if that's the proper word. It's not, but and I'm here honestly to help rebuild. I know that's not what you're asking, but that's kind of why I'm here. That's the only really reason I'm here, is to help out. I'm more Pretian based, but Direwood is a great place, and I'm trying my best to help build it back up into what it could be.
Her eyes
I'm not
shift.
natively Direwoodian, if that's what you're asking.
She nods, and she looks to 6.
I too was born here. I live here. I assume I will die here. Like a mother, the city has nurtured me in my youth, made me what I am. And if I can return a bit of the care that she has given me, even in her present condition, I would like to do that.
You see her smile just a little bit at that answer and nod. And with that in mind, why the church? I've been given the gist of your request. Why do you seek the church's help in your endeavors, in the Cloaked Ranger's endeavors?
Is Severus down here?
Severus is not present.
Severus. I would look around and go, Severus.
What about
No.
him?
He has shown me. Out of all the groups I've met here in Direwood in my short time being here, not only are you good people, you have great ideals. Ideals that a lot of people should align with and take on. At least in my opinion. Why the church? Because I don't think there's anyone better to ally with in order to bring Direwood to being, and I kind of smile at her, a perfect world.
A freelancer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not like you know what I meant now. Not like
Sure.
mercenary, but someone who travels and
With that answer, she looks to the rest of the group to see if anyone else would like to speak.
As of right now, the queen, who I'm sure you know, is in charge of running the New Republic. I suppose, even though they don't really believe in. Anyways, she's put bounties on our heads, and she's put innocent lives in danger, at the cost of at our cost, and we want help in order to protect as many Direwood citizens as possible. Anywhere we go, I worry for the safety of the regular citizens that live here. And being that we're trying to help Direwood, it's not an option for that. And we see that you are out here and you are taking care of Direwood citizens and taking them in. And I see that as a glimmering of hope.
But wouldn't then our alliance with you, those who have made enemies of the New Republic, mark us as enemies of the New Republic?
If you are willing to help us, then it shouldn't.
Why wouldn't it?
Because then we can reach out and solve the problem.
How do you
With
intend
your
to
help.
solve the problem? What is the
That's-
problem?
The problem, or you talking?
No, if you go ahead.
The problem is there are 3 factions that make up Direwood currently, or major factions. There is the church, who cares for its citizens and wants to see them prosper. There is the Cloaked Rangers, who cares for the citizens and wants to see them prosper. And then there's the New Republic, who doesn't. Anyone who is willing to put other people, innocent people, to the block, so to say, for their own gain, should not be allowed to hold that power. The problem at hand is there is someone in Direwood who is willing to kill to maintain power. Power that is not rightfully ours. So, we should remove the power they have for the safety of all.
You say the power is not rightfully ours. The power, what, to kill?
Control people.
Isn't that governance?
Not in the way you're thinking. We are free beings, correct?
She nods.
So we should be allowed to have our lives and do with it as we please. Correct?
She nods again.
When last person spoke out against the queen, she hired people to kill him. That's not being allowed to live what you live, or your life. That is, to me, abuse of a gift that shouldn't be done. She has power, and she's using that power to worsen the lives of others for her own gain. And to control people. And if they choose to not want to be controlled, she puts a blade to them.
Malcolm speaks up and says, "If I may, it sounds to me like you're describing governance. Harsh governance, but governance. Is this not what you want for Direwood?"
What I want for Direwood is safety. And people being able to be themselves without threats of death. Is that not what you guys want? Do you not want people to live their own lives?
Of course we do, but you still haven't answered my question of how we would solve this problem, if it is such a problem. What do you want from us specifically?
I kind of look back to the group and kind of give it a little smile.
Friendship.
Alliance?
6 blurts out.
Friendship.
I laugh a lot. I kind of go, yes. Alliance? If we are to ourselves take on dealing with the New Republic, well, what's to stop them from attacking the Cloaked Rangers when we are not there? What's to stop them from killing innocents to avert our attention from dealing with them? What we are asking for you is help taking care of the innocents, and we can and if you have people who can help make their lives better, make Direwood better, while we're out taking care of the New Republic.
You keep saying taking care of the New Republic. You mean killing them?
No, not them. Removing
We
her power.
haven't. Never mind.
Removing her power. By what means, we haven't figured out because we don't know how she has that power.
So you don't
Be it-
have a plan.
To take care of that, no. Our plan here was to build an alliance with you. That is what we came for.
Make a general charisma check. And there are too many things I'm thinking that would give it both disadvantage and advantage, so I'm going to call it a straight roll.
Oof.
Oof. Okay.
Big oof.
She seems a little unimpressed. She frowns a little. And as she sits there, as she seems as though she's about to say something, Yorlin speaks up again. Why, then, should the church help you?
We already have friends here at the church. Malcolm is our friend. Savaris is our friend. And by associating with us, that puts the lives of 2 of your members at risk.
I do believe Doran already said that wasn't the case, is it? Is it the case that if we work with you, if we help you, ally with you, we are in danger?
I believe you're already in danger.
Now I want you to make a persuasion check.
A persuasion?
Yes, please.
Way better than I rolled.
A dirty 20. Yorlin relaxes his stance a little bit and smiles. He closes his eyes and nods. And Best being the one directly speaking to him, you can almost sense he's satisfied. He's almost... Actually, Best, would you make an insight check for me?
Yes.
As well. With a dirty 20. He seems relieved that you gave a good answer, and you suspect he might be on your side already. As he nods, Tara speaks up again. How then, if we were to ally, if we were to work together to fight or dismantle the Queen, the New Republic, however you plan or don't plan on taking care of this, how then will the Cloaked Rangers make amends for their transgressions here, in and outside of the church? By the Cloaked Rangers' authority, a man was nearly killed here not too long ago.
I kind of raised my hand a little bit. Actually, that was by not the authority, that was a man's choice. He has actually been removed from the Rangers for that action.
He has since left, and we have no clue where he is. We don't think he'll be coming back.
He's not associated with the Cloaked Rangers at this time, nor will he be in the future.
Because of that singular action, they have told him that he is done.
So the amends is removing him from the Cloaked Rangers in Direwood.
That was that amends for that particular action, yes.
And what of outside of the church physically? The Cloaked Rangers has opposed us since we began. And now, when either you or the Cloaked Rangers, whoever you actually represent, feels they need help, feels they need more bodies on their side, you come asking.
It's not just about a fight. It's about trying to survive when your land unites you. We have found some land that we would like to begin farming on. However, we haven't been able to begin clearing out the we haven't begun to clear it out and make it proper, and we need help in order to do that, and it's in our best interests, and I truly believe in your best interest as well, to band together to make survival in Direwood a real and true thing.
She doesn't nod. She seems to be pondering this for a moment. And Tara, that is. She speaks up again. That is all beautiful and nice and peaceful, but I still haven't been given a solid answer as to how we can help. What do you need? Fighters? You need gold? You need a larger number of people? What are you really after? And for that matter, is it you who are after it, or the Cloaked Rangers?
Both.
We are Cloaked Rangers.
We are affiliated and not here on their behalf. However, it was our idea as a group for this alliance.
It
We are the ones
sounds like you act semi-independently. And she does interrupt rudely like that.
Wasn't that actually our title? Is like an independent group of the Cloaked Rangers?
I think your official titles are like, auxiliaries, sort of. Auxiliaries with official ranks, you're kind of a weird in-between. Freelancers,
Think of us
maybe.
as more of a bridge.
I personally am not. I shouldn't say I'm not part of the Cloaked Rangers. For the time being, I am. I was hired by the commander to help out with the problem that they're having in Direwood. I took that job. Now, I firmly believe that if you guys were to help, this would be a win for both of our groups. I believe that not that I believe, I don't see many downsides to the revival of this city and the help if we can have someone to fall back on, and as you guys will as well. I don't think having a double fallback plan would be much of a bad thing.
Yorlin speaks up once more. The revival of Direwood does sound magnificent, but what does that look like for you, for the Cloaked Rangers? What does the revival mean? What is our place in it? What is your place? What is the Cloaked Rangers' place?
Cloaked Rangers, for the beginning, will work as the guard. You, of course, kind of gestured at everyone, a church. Isn't that what you want to be? A recognized religion, a recognized faith?
Are you offering us this? The Cloaked Rangers, assuming we do in fact revive Direwood, as you have so inspirationally stated, the Cloaked Rangers would take up their old positions as city guard, perhaps as governance, and recognize the Church of the Rock as an official religion of Direwood.
Yes.
Tara speaks up. That would mean the hysterium staying, the rock, the glow staying.
Some places would, because it does hurt a lot of people, we'd probably clear it out from some places, but keep it in Direwood, yes. If it is in a heavily residential area with a lot of people who aren't part of the church, and it is harming them, relocating that dust to a different location.
Make another persuasion check.
Is it possible that I could give him advantage, bardic inspiration? I didn't
Bardic-
really say anything to spark it, so probably not.
Yeah, I was gonna think bardic inspiration would require you to do something, but or you could, I don't know, you could make a gesture. You could I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I can't think of a decent way to go about doing that.
So that gives me
add a d10.
Okay, let's roll that first.
Okay, 16.
Nice.
Bad rolls
17.
today.
With a 17, Tara actually seems relatively satisfied with that answer. Perhaps not happy, but she's not frowning anymore. But then she looks to everyone else. So, that is the word of one. Are you all in agreement with this? That is what Direwood would look like, with both the Cloaked Rangers and the Church of the Rock working in tandem?
I don't see why it wouldn't be.
She looks to Six.
Can you reword the question? Repeat the question for me? I'm sorry.
Can you reword the question? I don't like that one. Say it differently.
If the
Try
Church
again.
of the Rock and the Cloaked Rangers were to work together to restore Direwood, the city in its revived state would be composed of the Cloaked Rangers, reinstating governance and law, and the church being recognized officially, with Hysterium, the Rock, the Glow, being allowed to stay in Direwood in some places at least. Perhaps not
I would
in
love to see
residential
that.
areas.
Direwood should be a place for everyone. There was no reason to restrict that.
She looks to Bess. Are you in agreement as well?
Of course.
You yourself has stated you can be thought of as a bridge between us and the Cloaked Rangers, between the citizens of Direwood and the Cloaked Rangers. So if all four of you tell me here...
You are citizens of Direwood, I rudely interrupt.
She squints at you a little. She narrows her eyes. If all of us, if all four of you tell me this can happen now, I am to trust that the Cloaked Rangers will be on board, as they say.
Maybe not all of them at first, but we will do our best to change their minds.
Yorlin speaks up. Will many minds need to be changed?
I don't think many. Then again, I'm probably not the best to answer this question, as I haven't been around most of the Rangers for as long as the others have.
Your honesty
The
is
ones I've met
appreciated.
are decent.
Many are scared of what they don't understand.
Aren't we all?
There are damages that
That-
have to be repaired as well in their own minds that has been caused by false information being spread. But
All of them nod at that.
I kind of smile. I kind of lean a little bit towards her, towards Sarah. A Cloaked Ranger is an organization that doesn't accept the Rock. It's not a group I would like to be myself be a part of. And I will hold that with me till my death. So, I promise you, with everything that I am, is Doran, how I actually look, and my face morphs to being plain white with my white eyes and long white hair. And my entire appearance morphs to being how Doran looks in his birth state.
Six
Bess
averts his
would
eyes out of respect.
Look away.
And
As would
I look at her. In my true form, in my actual being, I give you my word that I will do everything in my power to make sure the church stays permanently as part of Direwood. Because as I, myself, kind of give her another big grin, love the Rock and believe the Glow is worth following with everything you are.
With that, she seems very taken aback, not only by your shift, but by the entire party as soon as you shifted, averting their gaze respectfully. Further reinforcing that this is a serious moment for you. Please roll one last persuasion check with advantage given by the party.
23.
A 23. You see her eyes kind of a little wide. She's not like panicked, but she seems a little taken aback by your sudden shift. Do you shift back after you finish speaking?
After I finish speaking, I'm like, I politely am going to switch back to my more comfortable appearance.
Her mouth just slightly agape, her eyes a little wider. Very well.
I go back to looking like Doran. I go, thank you for averting your gaze.
Well then. She looks to the rest of the assembly around you guys. And Malcolm gives a nod. The three conduits nod. Yorlin nods deeply. She says, I have one last question then. For Malcolm. She looks at him and he seems a little shocked. Should we trust them? Malcolm kind of opens his mouth, starting. He looks to all of you. He looks to Six. Purses his lips. Averts his gaze from Six, looks down. I trust them. Tara nods. Very well then. By the guidance of the glow, we accept. The church will work alongside the Cloaked Rangers with apt correspondence to revive Direwood. And there's like a breath throughout the room, like an exhale. You can almost feel the tension drain through the floor as shoulders are slumped slightly, possibly including some of your own. And the meeting seems to have come to a completion. And as everybody relaxes, Tara says, you may inform the commander that I would like to meet with him personally on matters of reviving Direwood. And I would like for you all to correspond with Yorlin on future matters pertaining to how we will be of assistance and how the Cloaked Rangers will be of assistance to us.
Of course.
This is acceptable?
Yes. I do have one question.
Please.
Can I just get to the area around me? Is this where we want the final temple of the glow to be? Or do we have a location otherwise in mind?
I don't currently have an answer. The primary temple, the primary church dedicated to the glow, I presume will eventually be shown to us by the glow.
Of course. Because when we meet with the commander, one of the things I would like to bring up is locations of hysterium that stay and locations of hysterium that we would like to move. So whatever location you would like that looks best to you as the primary, I would like to make sure the hysterium stays.
Yorlin speaks up. We are not ignorant of the glow and what it can do to those who are not ready to accept it. Where the glow and the rock needs to be moved, or needs to be relocated, or even taken out of the equation, so that those who do not wish to follow it, who are not ready to accept it yet, can live peacefully. He looks to Tara, slightly nervously. I believe we can make arrangements. And Tara purses her lips a little bit and nods.
Will other faiths be tolerated?
Tara, this time, speaks quickly. So long as the glow deems it worthy of toleration. Yes, thus far, all faiths are, of course, recognized by our church, though we encourage our followers to dedicate themselves to the glow so that their dedication may make it more potent. Such is the way belief works. But, no, nobody has ever been chastised for other beliefs. I believe Yorlin himself has some of his own. And you can kind of sense there's a little bit of snark to her saying that as she gestures to him. But he takes in stride and nods. I am dedicated to the glow, but the glow is not the only thing worth dedication in this world.
Very well said. So, may I step out of this area?
Yorlin looks at Tara. She nods. Of course.
No, the floor falls flat.
The official meeting is adjourned. If you have any other questions, I have business to attend to. Please speak with Yorlin.
If you have questions, don't talk to me.
Pretty much is what she politely just told you. She just as per my previous emailed you. Is what she
I
did.
kind of go, do we want to do anything about the dream me and my compatriots had?
At this point, like after she said what she'd said, she already was like kind of looking to her conduit and about to start stepping away. And she stops. Please do speak with Yorlin about this.
I believe
Yorlin,
they
do report.
I
Yorlin
don't know.
nods.
I don't know if he did tell you, but it is our second dream regarding the glow.
Collectively.
Collectively.
That's
She
correct.
stops. I do want to hear about this.
All right. I do
Well,
believe.
now I don't want to tell you.
Malcolm, before you speak up, Malcolm, may I? And she says, yes, run along then. And Malcolm nods and looks like he's about to throw up and leaves the room with his conduit. Oh,
I go.
Yep.
I go. All right. Well, I'll tell. The first dream we had was not long after, at least for me. I believe my compatriots have told me as well. We were here the first time. It was dark, and then there was that wonderful, beautifully purple glow in the distance, and a voice that spoke to us. It talked about souls and spirits, how the mortal coil isn't worth our time, and about how we need to leave our bodies behind to allow our souls to grow. There are a few sentences that stick with me from that dream. Be born again in the glow. Let the rock guide you and become the god you need. Mortals created the holy rock, and mortals created the gods. The gods did not create the mortals. Told me to awaken my spirit, and that it's not easy living in such an evil and corrupt world. It also was mentioned how heaven and hell and reincarnation are just fantasies. Second dream happened just last night. I had two actually. My first experience with the glow last night was most likely individual. I prayed to the glow individually and asked how I can strengthen my faith with it and become ascended, as you guys have put it, and become closer with the glow. I felt a presence surround me, and then it was in my bag of holding. When I reached into it, my hand glowed like this, and I used my prestidigitation and minor illusion to mimic the same glow,
Okay.
and it told me soon. And then as I went to sleep, the same darkness and the purple glow, and it said to prepare for its arrival. A question for for us each. I'm assuming it's talking about me and my friends. And then it said, soon enough, prepare. And then it faded.
It sounds to me like the glow is calling to you, and is perhaps urging you to accept it and ascend. Are you, she narrows her eyes at you, prepared for ascension?
I'm as prepared as I believe I'm going to be.
Her eyes linger on you, but she says, seemingly regarding everyone else, are others seeking ascension through the church?
Possibly,
At the current time, I am not.
but I am not ready.
I am not opposed to it. I just don't believe now would be the best time in my own interest.
I am dedicated elsewhere, but I respect that the glow has reached out to us.
Her eyes are still lingering on Doran, but before she says anything else, Yorlin speaks. These are all acceptable answers. And Tara, kind of, her eyes go to him, purses her lips a little bit. They are. Well then, Doran it is. Doran Celio Helic III?
Doran, give me a second, because I have so many notes up right now that I don't have my full name up, because I don't say it very often. 1 second to pull up it because
Okay.
when I'm taking notes on like so many other things right now that it's just not clicking in my head what my own last name is.
How's 6 looking?
How is 6 looking?
With his
Fine.
eyes.
There's, nothing extraordinarily offensive been said here, so he doesn't have anything that he's trying to hide or anything at the moment.
Doran, Celio, Lorenz,
Doran, Celio, Lorenz, Helic.
there's 5 names. It's a 5-part name. Doran, Lorenz, Celio, Helic, Send the third.
Jesus. Right.
That's why it's 5
Yeah.
names.
She seems perplexed by that, but nods. Do you truly believe you're ready? Not just for fun, but to dedicate yourself to the glow in a more meaningful way. Do you believe your mind, soul, and body are ready for such a transformation?
Kind of look at her. I'm not one for faith. I've never been one for faith. For any faith, let's put it this way. I have pretended to be avatars of other gods in the past. And for me to look at the glow as something that speaks to me in such a way that I regret my past actions, and I would be furious for someone to pretend to represent the glow without actually representing it. Tells me my mind and soul are aboard. And my body? I believe this form would not take it, but if I am in my true form, it is ready. It's always been ready for me to finally be me. And I believe the rock guides me to that.
Well, she looks over to Yorlin. Is there time tomorrow during the full assembly, full ceremony of the church, if Doran so chose? Would there be time? And Yorlin interrupts. Absolutely there would. I could absolutely perform the ritual if and only if he was entirely ready. Tara nods. Very well then. Keep that in mind. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for your time. I do expect to hear from the commander soon, one way or another, whether it be personally or via letter correspondence. And I do wish, Yorlin, she says looking to him, for you to keep me up to date on the happenings pertaining to our bridge with the rest of Direwood. Yorlin nods and smiles. Very well then. A good day to you all. And she begins to leave.
Once she is completely gone, I would like to go over to Yorlin.
Sure. Once she is gone, you notice Adric, the couple of guard, like all the other hysterium, all the other Church of the Rock attendees here kind of relax even more, and actually these two step out over here. Adric, sits down on the platform here, and, the conduit looks over to Yorlin. Yorlin nods, and the conduit leaves as well. So it is you guys, Adric, and Yorlin in here. And, Yorlin says, you may step down now. In fact, I would prefer you did.
I'd go to him. I have a quick question. What does it mean to be fully ready? I believe in my heart and soul I am, but physically.
Accepting the rock is an arduous task. Your body needs to be ready to endure the transformation. Your soul needs to be ready to endure the transformation, and your mind needs to be set on doing so. It can be performed, if not all are ready. If you think your body is ill-suited for it, but your heart and soul, your mind are ready, it may be difficult, but it can still be done. To be ready for the rock is to fully accept it.
Well, as far as I'm concerned right now, I'm ready, so we'll see how tomorrow goes. Until then, can we drink here?
Actually, the church has no stance on this. So, as of right now, he says smiling, I suppose you can.
6, please let me drink.
I pull out my good bottle.
All right, pulls up the good stuff. Yorlin continues.
Isn't it like 9 in the morning?
You don't know about what time it is.
What time
You've been
is it?
underground.
I ask.
Oh, Yorlin says, about, if I had to guess, around 9 in the morning.
I went to a lot of stress. Mind me my pleasures.
Of course, I will say once again, I will prepare a stone for you, but you may make that decision whenever. If you are not ready tomorrow for it, there's always the week after, and the week after that. You have your whole life.
Correct. I would also like to talk to Savaris beforehand. He
Right.
is, for lack of a better phrase, he is the one closest to me about all this. And I trust him, no offense to you, more so.
Of course. Would you like for me to let him know that you'd like to speak with him?
If you could, but I believe my friends might want to talk to you. I've done a lot of talking. I'm now going to start drinking.
All right. As Doran begins indulging himself in Six's good stuff, I'll have him roll a con save now that may or may not apply later. Is there anything else the rest of you would like to speak about amongst yourselves or Yorlin?
I'd
like-
like
Oh, go ahead.
I'd like to ask Yorlin what the process of getting a stone ready is like.
As you,
Bess.
yeah, as you ask, he seems to perk up a little bit. He seems very happy to talk about this. He says, "Of course. Well, firstly, the stone must be ground down into a sphere or an oval or some shape representative of the soul, whatever you choose, really. And then, actually, speaking of, Doran, normally I would just make some sort of sphere. Is there any specific shape you would like?"
Blake is Googling cool stone shapes.
Right, and
Cool
you'll answer that in a
stone
moment.
shapes.
Oh, okay, yeah. Are you doing that as he starts drinking?
Yeah.
Since that con save won't take effect immediately, you don't just get fucking plastered like that if you drink a whole bottle. Doran, why don't you add, if you would like, a D10. All right, 26. Okay. You just be safe, and you just feel like, yeah, I can take this whole bottle.
Fuck it, I'm done.
Yeah. Yorlin will ask that, and you can answer whatever. But he says, so first, the stone must be shaped, and then the purifying ritual is what I perform. I would be glad to show it to you sometime.
Can I accompany you on the process of getting the stone ready for my friend?
I see no reason why not.
I'd love to follow around then.
I would ask him if I could put it other places other than my head.
Traditionally, the head is where we would put it, but you may have it placed elsewhere.
Hold on, I'm gonna send you the shape.
Okay.
I meant to ask, but I didn't want it to be in bad taste, because I have a feeling it's going to be in bad taste. Does having the stone make you immune to hysterium?
Are you gonna ask that?
Oh, that Alistair would say that to him.
You would ask just Yorlin?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You
Because
asked
the
that.
way they were saying it kind of made it sound like, oh yeah, the hysterium's there, but we don't care. It doesn't hurt us.
Immune is a strange word to use, but the
I
ill
should
effects,
say immune from its ill effects, yeah.
the ill effects that non-believers and those who are not ready to accept the glow suffer from being near it are lessened greatly. Yes, typically over time. So
That shape
Okay.
on my chest is what I'd ask him.
on your chest.
Like right here. You
You're
know,
like-
like those collarbone piercings? I would
Yeah.
like mine.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Okay. You describe this to him. He says, that would take more time, and frankly, I am not a skilled craftsman, but I could give it my best. I would be glad to, for you. And the
Look, that-
chest, frankly, if you would not like to receive it in your head, on your chest would be the second best.
The only reason for not my head is when I change my appearances, I don't want to cover it up. I
Very
can
well.
choose to make sure this place always stays how it should. I can morph my body. I pick one spot on my arm just to turn to my normal, actual white skin
Yeah.
tone. Goes.
Yeah.
So
He lifts a hand as you explain. There's no need. I understand. That is perfectly acceptable. The chest, yes. I will do my best to make that shape for you. And
I'm talking to him with like the bottle in my hand, just drinking.
yeah. He's a little distracted by you, like taking a shot every couple minutes, like just going at it. 6. This is good stuff. How many bottles of this do you have?
I just have the one at the moment.
Okay, so he's going through it.
You tell me you only have one?
No, I don't say that.
Okay, then Doran does not. Doran would.
Will you go through the whole bottle eventually?
He does not like to
I don't
be
think
drunk.
that's a good idea.
So the second he
Uh,
feels tipsy, he stops.
Yeah.
So-
Okay.
Okay,
Doran
I was gonna
hates
say.
not being in control of himself.
It's like
This is-
3 shots.
This is alcohol 6 keeps on him. You know this is gonna fuck you up.
Once I feel a little tipsy, I hand the bottle back.
Okay. Like after 10 minutes of this conversation, you start to kind of like your head's just like a little bit. You're like, oh. You have a feeling though that Alistair, his magical touch, really is holding back how bad this could be. You're getting a little bit tipsy, so you hand it
I
back
hand
to.
the bottle back and go, "Thank you."
All right. He drank about 1/4 of the bottle.
You guys have probably actually never seen Doran drink anything that wasn't a joke because he had that hot beer twice.
Yeah.
So this is the first time we've actually seen Doran drink.
Of course, you are all welcome to stay down here for some time. But this is.
Is that in lieu of us being allowed to leave?
No. What I mean is, these are church grounds. Typically
Okay.
reserved for monks, the assembly, and anyone else we invite. So what I'm saying is, I am inviting you to stay for as long as you need. But in the future, please do ask before coming down here.
I believe after the assembly, we plan on heading back to the Rangers.
Very well. I will go inform Savaris to pay you a visit in some time. Please do help yourselves to lunch when you need it or anything else you need. And it was a pleasure. I'm very glad that worked out.
So am I.
And
Oh,
he
will
actually,
you collect me when you're getting the stone ready?
of course. Well, I will try to carve it first. You would just like to see the ritual, yes?
I'd like to see the full process. I'd like to see you carve it and everything.
The carving will take some time, but if you would like to accompany me, I plan on doing that in probably about an hour. I will begin.
I would love to join.
Certainly. Well, when you step into the church front doors, the first office on... Oh, I gotta look. The office on the left is mine. Please come knock in about an hour. I will see you then. And as he goes to leave, he pats you on the shoulder, Doran. Take care.
Of course.
And he leaves. And it's just you guys and Adric in here now.
I'll sit next to Adric. We kind of lean against him slightly.
He looks down at you.
Like I'm sitting on this thing next to him, just kind of lean against him. You're comfy.
Never been told that before. I was a bit nervous there. I thought you were all gonna be tossed into oblivion.
Does the floor do that?
Oh
Is that
yeah.
an option?
Oh, absolutely.
I
I-
knew the floor was like that for a reason.
Oh, they're all trapdoors. Yeah.
Were they gonna actually kill us if things didn't go well?
No, I don't know. I was just told if I was given the signal to hit this lever at my feet, and he looks down and you can see just like carved into, just hidden in the stone. There's like a tiny little switch or lever, and he says, and he looks down at it. I was told if I've given the signal, hit that, and then bye
Where-
bronze toads.
Where do the trapdoors go?
No, I don't know.
Does that alert anybody when the flip is switched?
I don't know.
When the flip is switched?
I've
I'm
only
going to
seen
flip
them
with my
open
cane.
once.
Is everyone off of it first?
I mean, on the map, no.
Oh, I would make sure that, you know.
Yeah, you guys step off knowing this.
Uh,
Alistair, are you gonna flip it?
I want to know where it goes. Can I flip it?
I wouldn't, but go for it.
I mean, you were told to, so I'm assuming it's okay.
I mean,
Wait, what's the signal? We'll give you the signal and then you can flip
Yeah.
it for us.
I knew I liked you guys.
Hey, DM, real quick. I need like 2 minutes, so I will be right back.
Sure.
Tea break.
The the signal was just going to be Tara nodding at me.
I can do
Pretend
that.
I'm. Oh,
I can do that.
All right, go ahead and nod at me, and maybe
I
get
go-
off of me.
I get off of him. I go stand right where Tara was standing,
Sure.
and I morph into looking exactly like her. And I go,
And he says, "Well, I'm following instructions." Tara nodded at me, and he just kicks it with his foot, and all four of the 4 trapdoors flip open, and you look down, and it's just like it's a hole. It's dark. You don't know how far down it goes. You don't know what's going on with that
I'm like, how long does it stay open?
until I flip the switch again.
Okay. I cast Dancing Lights, which has a range of 120 feet, and I'm sending them down.
Okay, you summon these globules of light, and they start dancing down, twirling around, and you can see it is just like a almost perfectly square hole, 10 by 10 foot hole going down. They go down 50, 60, 70, 80. They start to get a little hard to see, but you know they're still there. You can feel yourself controlling them, and they hit 120 feet, and you're kind of squinting a little bit to really see what's down there. After 120 feet, they all go out of range and vanish.
I look at him and go, it's very deep.
Good
Uh,
lord.
I look back
Bess?
at Doran.
Oh, Bess would murmur under her breath. Wonder if this has anything to do with the tunnels.
I have the urge to go down there.
Can you please flip the switch again and shut it?
Oh, sure. Well, I wasn't given the signal.
Wait, she gave you a signal to unflip the switch?
She didn't really tell me what to do after I flipped it. I just presumed she'd tell me.
Oh, then you should just leave it open.
I guess.
I prefer you didn't, because I don't want to fall.
All right. He just kicks his foot, and they all snap back into place.
That's
Can I-
terrifying.
Remember specifically where that switch was?
Yeah,
Like,
if you
I
go
were
over
to
and just
leave
kind of...
and come back.
Yeah, if you just go over, take a look, kind of take a mental note, you can remember about where it is. Like, now that you've seen it, it almost just looks like a lot of the stone down here isn't, like, perfectly smooth marble. It's like there's some rough cuts in here and there. It almost just looks like a little rough patch in this little platform. But now that you've seen it, you take a moment, you're pretty sure you could remember it.
Okay.
It's deeper than 120 feet.
Whoa. That's
6.
a lot.
How far can you fall?
He stepped away for a minute.
Oh, he's on his camera.
I think he might be on the phone.
He might be. I'll save that question for when he gets back. I mean, I don't want to go down there. I also think we're in a really good position here. We've made friends. We got permission. I'm getting a stone shoved into my chest tomorrow. Everything's coming up, Doran, right now.
I think if things go sour, I want to know what's down
I kind of
Well,
want to know
actually,
what's
I-
down there, too.
there. I want to know. I want to know what's down there right now.
Well, if it goes deeper than 120 feet, maybe it just goes forever.
A
Pretty
physics
sure-
a thing is
Oh.
that
Do we know the world is round?
This is a really good question.
I need to know, Holden.
I
It
would
is
assume
common belief.
from the top of Priest, I would have sketched it with curvature, so Alistair knows the world.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, based on the observations people can make, yeah, it's believed that the world you are on is round.
Are there flat earthers?
Maybe. I've never thought of this.
Do we know if there's magma in the ground? Like, do we know if there's a center of the world, or
No, because the Underdark is a thing. Yeah, people are probably, those well-traveled or well-read, are probably aware that there is heat and magma and various things underground. Maybe it's not super common knowledge, but
I kind of look at Adric and go, I don't think that's possible, but I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
enough about archaeology to dispute it.
magic does some crazy things, man. I don't.
Maybe it's all an illusion. You just feel like you're falling forever. Wow, that would be a terrible afterlife.
That would be
Hold on a
really
second.
horrible.
Can you open it again?
I can, but I wasn't given the signal. He smiles. Nah, I'm just kidding. And he kicks it again, and they
Oh.
smack.
Doran goes,
Can I peek over the edge.
Yeah.
And,
You're staring into a perfectly square abyss.
Can I? Give me a freaking minute here, dude. Let me look at.
I have a way to see how far the bottom is, but it is a decently high level spell, and I don't know if I want to use that.
We can do this, and I just drop a copper.
Okay. You take out a copper and drop, and you all, as you all see him do this, you all listen. 4, 5. Make a perception check.
All of us?
Yeah. Anyone listening for the coin?
There's some good rolls.
Doran's rolls are pretty decent tonight.
No, I rolled on that one and like really low on 2 very important rolls.
You guys got there in the end.
Yeah, I had to pull out stops, man. I had to pull out stops.
You really did. You really did. But honestly, you pulling out that last stop and the entire party joining in, that was excellent. Bess, do you want to make a perception to see if you hear anything, or?
Oh yeah, sorry.
And Jason, if you're listening, you can make a perception check to see if you. Yep, that's a nod. Okay. 10, 7. Okay, none of you hear anything except for Doran. You're sitting because it makes sense because you're like really lean. You're well, I guess Bess is as well, but Bess, you don't. You're sitting there listening. You don't hear anything. Doran, you just maybe. It's really hard to tell. You're all quiet as can be, but you hear just a tiny little. Bloop, like 6 seconds later, like a single. Bloop.
Like water.
None more bottomless than the bottomless
Hard to
pit,
say.
which, as you can see here, is bottomless.
It took about 6 seconds, but I think I heard something. But I couldn't be sure.
Do an Arcana check to see if there's anything magical.
Detect magic or something would be best, but you can certainly try.
Oh, let's do. Hang on here.
Well, then can you take me to secrets when you have a second?
Let's just do detect magic then.
Okay, you're gonna cast detect magic.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't have it in Roll20.
That's all right. You cast it. I know what it does. You standing here, you look around. There's nothing magic about the room, except for this pit. The entire structure with the 4 beams and the trapdoors, all glow very faintly of I have to pull up my schools
Redstone.
of magic here. Redstone. Yeah, it's all redstone. All of evocation magic. Just faintly, and you look down, and the whole thing down now, instead of being this deep dark pit, is just glowing very faintly of evocation magic.
Okay.
Oh, this calls for more raisins.
What exactly do I know about evocation magic?
You know that it is about creating something from nothing. It is about not conjuring. Conjuring is another thing. It is about transforming things and creating things. I could probably actually find you a better description if you'd like. Evocation is spells that manipulate energy or create something from nothing. An evocation specialist is called an evoker. That's what you would know.
I think we should go down there.
I'm down.
No.
Adric speaks up. How?
Hold on. Now's
Yes.
the time.
Now's the time?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go then. Yep.
Jason, look at my camera.
What you thinking?
So theoretically,
Mm-hmm.
mislead does not have a range I can control by double at. It says nothing about disappearing when it takes damage.
Mislead. Okay. Yeah, let me just take a look here. Okay,
The
where you
double
go?
lasts for the duration of an hour.
Yep.
But the
Double lasts for the
invisibility
duration
ends
of-
if you attack or cast a spell.
Yep. Twice your speed.
If I were to throw my illusory double down the well, would
Yeah.
it disappear when it hits the bottom?
At the same time, it's illusory, so it doesn't. It's an illusion. It doesn't take fall damage, much like a squirrel. And yeah, it has a duration of an hour. Range is self, so it can theoretically go as far as you can get it in an hour. Yes, theoretically, you could toss your mislead illusion down
Okay.
there.
Well, this is gonna freak the party out, and it's probably gonna trip Doran out a lot. I'm gonna cast mislead so that only you know. So
Okay, but okay, sure. All right, I'll take you back. And when we go back, you can just describe it as you jumping down or whatever you're gonna do. Okay. Oh no.
Staple Euro has tomatoes that I feel bad for eating one without.
Excellent. On that
are
note,
we talking about the Greek food?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Euros are pretty
I
fucking good,
love.
dude.
Yeah, they're delicious.
So,
Alright,
Alistair, as everyone's kind of pondering what they're gonna do.
Alistair will jump down.
I go, shut the pit.
Wait, we're
He's
jumping?
already down.
No,
It was open.
I look at Hadrick and go, shut the pit.
Okay, so Alistair moves over and jumps.
No, after he's gone, then I
Yep.
tell him to shut the pit.
Yep. And
Oh.
Adric says, I don't.
I say, don't shut the pit.
I jump in too.
No,
Bess, you jump in.
Seeing Alistair, what I would do.
I would try to stop her.
Can
You're gonna try to stop her, but not
catch her?
Alistair. Okay. Okay. So
jump in.
Alistair, here's the order of events. Alistair jumps down. Bess goes, fuck it, and moves to jump down as well. Both Six and Doran make a dexterity check. Bess, make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh boy.
Dexterity
Oh.
check.
Not very good at those.
Clara, I hate you.
A 12.
It's what I would
Oh,
do.
Six
I
got
would
a 14.
see you.
Okay. So here's what happens. Alistair jumps down. Bess moves to jump down, and Dora goes, and kind of stumbles over tipsily, and the Bess is about, she's like diving in. Six gets over just in time, and like as she's diving in, grabs her ankle and holding her by the ankle as she's hanging in the pit.
Pull her back up. Bess, I believe.
Bess, do you allow them to just pull you back up, or are you going to struggle?
I'll let him pull me up.
Okay, they pull you back up together.
I believe that Alistair had a
Beautiful.
plan and has magical abilities to protect him from this fall. Because he did mention a higher spell ability that he had. You do not
I
have
believe that is
ability.
correct.
And I believe you jumping might kill you. And
Well, then let's get some rope.
Okay.
We don't know
Well,
how
then
to
would
do-
I have hit the bottom yet?
Yeah, by now.
Alistair reappears on the bench. Because I'm
Uh,
assuming I can shut off my invisibility, correct? But keep the double?
No,
It
it
doesn't
is
say
a part of.
anything about... Oh,
No.
okay. Well then, you hear from the bench. I'm still here. That was mislead. My clone is at the bottom.
Okay.
Can
Oh,
someone
you
throw
sure
a
as
light down?
fuck tricked me.
Yeah, Bess, did you try to jump in?
No.
Yes.
I pull out a torch and I light it and I go, ah! And I drop it.
Okay, you take a moment, pull out a torch, light it, and as it's falling, Alistair, this is what you see. You switch your eyes and you
Yeah.
see through it. Okay, what you see as
Well,
it falls.
before I'd go, I'd look and be like, it's dark as fuck down here. I can't see anything.
Yeah, it's dark as
Thanks
fuck.
for the torch.
Yeah, and
I'll be right back.
At the bottom is very, well, actually, you wouldn't know this. At the bottom is a small pool of water,
Son of a bitch.
but your illusion can tell it is maybe like 4 feet deep, but the ground beneath is mushy.
Ew.
It's like mud.
Like a marsh?
Oh, I hope there's no skin down
Is
here.
there a bed down here?
Is there a bed down here? But
Can I
Alistair,
see
you
anything?
would think, just based on the fall, you don't know for sure. It was at least like, God, at least 400 feet.
Okay.
I don't think you can like feel, and you can see and hear. So actually, I shouldn't have even told you it was like mud down there. But yeah, there's like a small pool of water You don't know if it's warm, cold, or whatever. But and there's like mushy
My
ground
double,
beneath
my
you.
double go. Oh, I hope there's no skin down here.
And then and the torch like you see just enough light as the torch comes down that you can see like the walls are perfectly smooth, and there is water, and then the torch lands in the water and is snuffed out by the water.
I can't cast spells from my double. Fuck.
Wait. Hang on a minute. Let me.
D&D like Minecraft, where I survive as long as I have 1 block of water.
I'm gonna touch. I don't know what to touch. Is there like anything random in the room, like a book or maybe a chair leg or it's just something? So I want to cast light on an object and drop it down. Because that
You-
shouldn't be put out.
What
If she's looking for something, I'll give her 1 more copper.
you could
You'd
do
hear
that,
Alistair's
or
voice go, "Your torch went out. I think it's ruined. It's smooth down here."
there
I would-
is, other than like the objects you all have on your person, there is one of these dummies used for melee practice. One of the heads has been knocked off of it.
Cool.
It's sitting on
I'm
the
gonna
ground.
grab that, cast light, and throw it down.
Okay.
What is the dummy's head made out of?
It appears to be some sort
a
of
real head.
leather stuffed with some sort of cloth material.
So would it float?
I'm going to say yes.
Because as an illusion, I don't think I can pick anything up.
Yeah, so it just, and you see it sink under the water for a moment and plop back up. And now you can see, you look down, there's like a dark soil or something underneath this water. And there's maybe about 4 feet of water down here. And you see, actually, you notice this leather begins to steam.
Like acidy steam?
You're not sure.
I want to say. Hold on.
But yeah, the walls are big smooth.
Hold on.
Yes.
I love you.
Love you too.
Hold
I
in.
love you too.
Hold in.
Yeah.
I like your butt.
Thanks.
Jason, you're a wonderful person. I'm glad to be your friend.
Appreciate that. Right back at you, buddy.
Jason, you're
So
a wonderful friend, and I'm glad to be your person.
That's confusing.
Okay, I
Thank you.
DM'd you. Hold on.
You DM'd me.
Or I
Oh,
whispered
he was
you.
your dungeon master.
He's DMing us right now.
Wait, what? I
Hi,
don't see any
Clara.
messages from you anywhere. What?
I whispered it too. Sorry.
I don't see a whisper.
I /WGM'd you.
I see no whisper.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to take a picture of what I typed.
You can't just say it out loud? Or you'd rather not?
Due to what the party knows about me right now, no.
Okay.
Actually, I already saw the picture, but I don't think it matters. Would I know what the D&D equivalent of hydrochloric acid or formaldehyde would be like?
Oh, so probably
Delicious.
from your experiments, and you don't think it's that.
Okay.
In fact, with that knowledge, make a nature check. Do you have proficiency in nature?
I will check skills. No, but I have jack of all trades.
Okay, yeah, just make a nature check then.
Fucking bard.
I made a nature check.
He did.
Is my roll 20?
It might
okay,
be your roll 20.
I think it might be my roll 20. I'm sorry, give me one moment.
'Cause I do see his nature check.
Okay, and what is it?
21.
21. With a 21, you're fairly certain this is just really fucking hot water.
Oh,
Oh.
Ugh.
that might actually be worse than acid. I think that getting boiled alive would be worse than melting.
Yeah, you're pretty
Like
sure
a
if
lobster.
yeah, you're pretty sure
Is
if
there
you would
steam
actually
coming
come
up
down to you'd
through
be
the-
boiling. No, it is so far down it's dissipating before it gets to you
Got it.
guys.
Okay, so with the light, I can see everything around me.
Yep,
Um,
pretty much.
do I see any openings of any sort? Like any doors, sewage drains, nothing?
No.
It's just a really deep pit with boiling water at the bottom.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'd relay that to the group.
Yeah, Alistair, an invisible Alistair just says from a bench nearby, dude, this
It's
shit's
really
just...
hot down there.
I look at Edward and go, so they were gonna boil us alive.
Probably. It's very smooth. There's no doors, and the helmet you threw down is steaming. And at first I thought it was acid, but I think boiling alive might be a worse way to go.
I turn to
Would you
Six
even
and say, thank
surf-
you for catching me.
Anytime.
Yeah, that was pretty ballsy. I didn't think any... You are a crazy group. You know, the thing is, I was told to just keep an eye on you while you're down here for the time being. And then I was starting to think, maybe it's fine. You guys are fine. You're not going to cause any problems. But now I'm starting to think maybe I should. Don't want to get you killed.
Shut
You
the
seem
door.
like... Yeah, go ahead and close it. I can't actually move the head down there because it's an illusion, so I kind of can see all that I can see.
All right. He kicks the switch again, and it closes up. He says, I don't want to babysit. Can you just promise that you're not going to cause any more trouble with that thing?
Never!
All right.
I mean, I don't particularly feel like boiling.
Right.
Me
That's
neither.
kind of what I figured. So I'm just going to go... I'm just going to go sit.
I'll be right back
Thanks,
again.
buddy.
I say switching back to my double.
Right. And if you need anything, don't bother me.
You got
I'm
it.
going to. Just
Yeah,
despite-
yeah.
I offer him the bottle, the good bottle there after I've
Oh.
retrieved it from, and offer him a swig.
He takes a look at it, opens it, smells. Oh, okay. He takes a big old swig and hands it back to you.
Thank you.
Like I'm talking like another fourth of the bottle. He he hands it back. You got a half
You know, if
bottle.
you're ever around
Alright.
the Boiling Born Priest, I can get you a room for free.
I'll keep that in mind.
Come party with us.
He nods and goes off on his own.
I
So,
do some pretty good impressions.
it is still relatively mid to late morning. What are you guys gonna do?
So there's a ceremony, what, tomorrow or the day after?
There's a ceremony tomorrow. I get
Are
a
we
stone
still
from my
staying for
chef.
that?
Yes, I have an appointment with Orlin.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
However, I'd also like to ask him if the game plan was to boil us alive. But I don't know how to bring that up in conversation flawlessly.
I can
could
bring it
just-
up while I'm
you could
watching
just
you
ask.
make the rock.
Sure.
Have you ever seen a lobster? We're going to do that to us.
So, he did lie to me then. I'd like to. Yeah, that's it for that.
I am switching to my double whenever we have a second for that.
Yeah,
wanna do
yeah,
one more
okay.
thing.
You switch back, and what are you doing with it?
Will the cloth head eventually get waterlogged and sink?
Probably, yeah. The cloth
How
would
long
sop
does
up.
light last?
Bess?
1 hour.
1 hour.
Okay, so but that's as long as my spell lasts. So, what would I see at the bottom?
What do you mean, like below the water?
Mhm.
Just like a very thick, goopy soil or sediments of some sort.
Any bones?
Boiled meat.
You do not see any bones.
Soggy bones.
I wonder if they've ever used this trapdoor before.
If they have, then I have some other questions.
Like, where did the bones go?
Why do they want to boil people alive when shooting them in the skull works faster?
Yes, that's a decent question.
All right, Bess, you can shut your spell off.
I
I
turn it
will
off.
also. Let me just make sure. Blinded and deafened. Okay. Actually, no. It says you can switch from using its senses to your own or back again. While you are using its senses, you are blinded and deafened. It doesn't say that the only senses available are sight and sound.
You can see through its
So-
eyes and hear through its ears. And I think it's when it says that you're using its senses, it's referring to those two.
Oh,
That's
gotcha.
how I
Yep,
interpret
I
that.
did not read back. Yep, you're right. You're right. All right, then I will shut my spell off and come back. So I just reappear on the bench.
Okay. Whoop. And Alistair's back.
Okay, we
I
go.
look at. Go ahead.
Welcome back.
I look at Bess and I go, "Fucking seriously?"
Yeah, Bess almost killed herself.
Okay.
I'll be
My
honest-
logic was I want to jump down there before they close it, and you jumped down there very confidently, and I thought that was you, and I thought you had a plan.
I
That's
had a
how
plan
much I
for
trust
me.
You should be proud of how much I trust you.
It really puts
and
a whole spin on
scared.
when your mom says, "If your friends would jump off a bridge, would you?"
No, as much as I
Dude,
want
if Chris told me to jump off a bridge, I fucking would. Just saying.
that's scary. I look at Alistair and goes, as much as I want to blame Bess for that what just happened, why couldn't you tell us what your plan was?
Well, my original thought was to scare you guys. I didn't expect anybody to go, "Oh, I'll just jump in too."
No, my first reaction was to try to close the pit.
That's not surprising.
It's because I figured you had a way to save yourself. Which I was right. I had faith in your ability not to die.
If it was really me, I would be very hot.
You would die.
Probably. If not from the waterfall, the damage. I don't think I could get myself back up here in time. It
But
seems to me like the fall is about 400-ish feet down.
disgusting. But my thought is, if there's anyone in this group who's not gonna kill themselves, it's you.
I didn't. I had a
I
plan.
know. That's why I didn't. That's why I was okay with shutting the trap door. Because
Ah.
if there's anyone in this group who's not gonna kill themselves, it's you. Because Bess
That
would
would have been.
do it to save someone. Six would do it to save Bess. I would do it if it means I die a hero.
That would have
Who
been
would
really
do it
weird
to
to actually hear.
themselves?
Imagine Alistair just jumping down and then nothing. Not even a splash, because it's an illusion.
I think we were busy trying to save Bess. We didn't hear. We went, what the fuck? Well, Bess's
Pretty much.
faith, Bess's faith in you is very, very surprising and very nice.
Yeah, that. I don't know how to feel about that.
See, my first thought was, if he thinks
It's
he
broken now.
can, my
It's
thought,
not my fault you tried to follow me down a fucking pit, Bass.
see, my thought was, you know how when people like to chain themselves up and then show the people that they can break free? I thought you were doing that. I just wanted to make it a little more difficult for you.
Even if I did jump down there fully myself, I could probably get myself back up here with the doors closed.
See? Just make it a little more difficult.
I think. Emphasis on I think.
I could.
So you have.
No, I couldn't.
It doesn't only affect other people.
No, my far step ability, which lets me teleport for, I could stop myself from dying, but I could not get back up. Wait a second. No, I kind of start thinking, actually, I can make the little sphere that I used to save that guy, like that giant hamster ball, and we could push me down there, and I could just float for a minute.
Let's do it.
Let's not do it.
Oh, actually, Alistair kind of goes, "Oh," and then he instantly takes out a journal and begins sketching. I want to sketch what I remember of that pit.
Sure. Yeah. Easy enough.
So we're essentially just sort of hanging out until tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Well, I've got to go
Okay.
to the guy to see the thing for the making of the
Oh,
thing
right.
for the guy.
Right.
For Doran.
I look at Alistair as he's drawing. Go. Also, by the way, I had a spell that would summon a giant arcane eye that can look into anything with magical and non-magical darkness, and it can go as far away as I want, and it lasts up to an hour. So, in complete reality, you didn't need to do that. Bess didn't need to try to kill herself, and we still could have gotten this
I
answer.
didn't try. Oh my god.
Hindsight is 20/20, Doran.
So is my normal vision.
Don't worry
What are
about it.
glasses?
So, Bess is going to head up shortly to see this ritual performed. If anyone else would like to join her, I'm sure that would be fine. Otherwise,
Six
what
would
is it?
definitely go with Bess.
Okay, so Six and Bess are going to go see this. Would everyone just like to go, or?
No, Doran wants to be surprised.
Okay.
Unlike Blake, Doran loves surprises.
All right.
Alistair will stay down here for a bit.
Okay. So, Bess and Six will head upstairs. And I will just describe it to you. You'll head up to the church, take a left, and knock on the office door. Yorlin will greet you and let you in, and he will show you that he has just started carving this. How would I describe this shape? It's like a tall oval with pointed ends vertically. I don't know how else to describe.
Is there other hunks of hysterium in his office?
Yes, there is a small basket with a few small shards and such.
Are they about the same size as that one, or is it obvious that he like went to collect that one and
They're
brought it back?
probably about the same size. They're like a little smaller than a fist.
Cool. Thank you.
Where do the bones go? But it takes some time after you guys kind of sit and observe as for an hour he slowly carves it, and he tries to do some carving designs into it. In fact, it'd probably be best for me to just show you the shape since you guys are watching.
I'm not watching.
I know what shape it is.
Is it called a marquee shape? Is that?
Yes, that was a marquee.
Yeah, it's called a marquee shape. If you guys want to look that up, rather than me just. It's called that. If you want to look up a marquee shape, I just put it in chat. He starts carving that out.
I'm surprised you were able to say that correctly, Mr. Quinoa.
You dumbass. You stupid idiot.
Thanks. Anyway, so as he carves the marquee shape, once he's finished it. Actually, let's make a roll here.
The marquee cut diamond is.
It's, as per what Doran described, it's pretty close. The designs, the lines aren't perfectly straight, but it's pretty close. And he says, he tells you, now the actual ritual. This doesn't take long. And he lifts his hands up and closes his eyes and says, by the power of the glow, I call upon your will to shape our future and the stone before me. And he places his both hands over it. And Bess, you recognize him casting Greater Restoration.
What the hell?
And he casts Greater Restoration, the energy pulsates from his hands into the stone, and you see almost like a dark mist emit from it as the stone is slowly transformed from the purple of hysterium to a lighter, slightly less opaque, slightly like a lighter purple and slightly less opaque. And he takes it in his bare hands, and there we have it.
May I? I reach my hand out.
I would
No.
ask Doran, but I have a feeling he'd say yes. He hands it to you. It doesn't burn. It's like you're holding it's like holding a precious stone.
Can I smell it?
You can.
I do.
It smells, only because you have a greater sense of smell, very faintly of like brimstone and sulfur. Very faintly.
Hell. I'm gonna hand it to Six. Well, but not offer it.
I gingerly reach out to take it, still expecting it to sting me.
And as you take it, it does. Just a little bit. Not as much as normal hysterium, but it's just like a little uncomfortable to hold. It's almost like a magnet, like opposing your hand just a little bit. But you can hold it.
Is there a physical, like, can you tell by looking at it, or is it like a feeling that I personally have?
Just a feeling
I'm
you
wondering
personally
if
have.
the other people see it.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
almost like a mental block. Like it's almost like your hand doesn't want to take it, and you hold it, and you can. It's not like you need to make a check. It's just like a little uncomfortable. You just feel like you shouldn't be holding this kind of.
I go to hand it back and I say, "Nice."
Okay, and eventually Yorlin takes it back, and he has like a nice little a small little. It almost looks like a tiny jewelry box that he takes it and places it inside, and closes it.
Does he clean it?
You don't know. You're not there. But for those who are there, no, he does not clean it.
God knows where you guys' hands have been. Putting that in my
He's
fucking
gonna
bed.
get
I
corroded
know.
back.
Probably in
he
each
puts
other.
it in, and he sets it aside on his desk, and he says, "And that's it. Now the stone
That-
is ready."
Was amazing. How did you learn about what guided you to the process of purification of the stone?
The stone itself.
It just told you one day?
Essentially, more like a feeling, really. It felt right. It drove me to do so. It's actually interesting. I was never able to do these things before the stone. The first time I held it, it burned me. But as I began to accept it more as part of my life, it began speaking to me, and eventually it was like a feeling. I didn't know what I was doing. This was a couple years ago. I placed my hands on it, and this energy came from me that I didn't know I had, and this happened. And it felt right. And I could feel the glow was pleased, and so the ritual was born.
Have you been taught any other magical means through the glow? Through the
I
rock?
believe I have some other capabilities, some healing magic, but I haven't exactly practiced. I
Are you
feel...
the only one who's... Oh, sorry.
No,
Go on.
I feel different. I feel as if I can feel the arcane energy flowing through me, bestowed upon me by the rock.
Shoot, what was I gonna say? Are you the only one who's able to perform this purification process?
No. Tara can do so as well, and I believe most of the conduits could as well, if they so chose.
Where do you harvest your hysterium from?
Wherever we can. The city always seems to
Interesting.
have enough.
Thank you for
6.
sharing this with me.
Yeah, of course. 6. Do you feel that? You clearly have some sort of relationship with the glow. Do you feel as though you have some arcane abilities from it?
Nothing that I've been able to explore, other than the
Not at all?
strange effects of the tattoos.
You've never performed any sort of magic?
Nothing that I would say has come from the rock. I do have some enhanced abilities based on my class, based on my studies. But I do not believe, as I say, other than the tattoos within me that are composed of at least some form of hysteria.
Are you lying to
have-
him?
No, what am I doing?
No, I was just
What have I
curious.
forgotten? Oh,
Your fists are
what have I
magic.
forgotten? Yeah, but that's because I'm a monk. It's not because I have hysterium in me, right? I mean, how do we where does that come from?
Do you
I
mention that to
assumed
him?
it was from that's I do. My one of my enhanced abilities, I do indeed have magical fists when used as weapons.
Have you ever considered that the glow bestowed that upon you? Did you train for it?
I don't know the answer to that.
Interesting. Something to ponder is all.
Okay.
Would ponder it. Anyway, I'm glad you were pleased by the ritual. I thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
While you were out looking for women, I was studying the fist.
Yeah. Is there anything Alistair and Doran would like to do downstairs while Bess and 6 are gone for a
I
bit?
would take time to pray,
Okay.
asking the rock if this was what's right for me, if it is my time to ascend, or if I should wait. I will also look at Alistair and go, she would have fucking died,
Mm-hmm.
and you would have had to live with that.
You guys.
Yep. Good
Would
thing it didn't.
Would you have blamed yourself?
No,
No?
I would not have. She acted on her own free will.
Interesting. Do you think Six would have blamed you?
Yes.
Interesting. I do believe that might have put a damper on your friendship with him.
I do not doubt that at all, which is why I'm happy he caught her.
I also tried.
I feel like I could maybe have saved her. But it would have required myself to jump down there. So then we would have been very hurt.
But not dead.
Maybe. It was only 4 feet of water. I feel like we still would have hit the bottom very hard.
But you believe in your heart of hearts that you could have saved her.
If I didn't die myself, yes. Holden, is it too meta to know if that would have killed us?
You can presume it would.
I would have been fine.
Because that is farther than Asco dive bombed that wyvern.
It would technically be at least 40d6. You don't know if it's actually 400 feet, but you would know it'd be at least 40d6 of damage. So on average, it would be 40 times 120 damage. None of you have that much,
Take
I don't
it.
think.
Well, except for the fact that, fall damage does cap at 200.
It does
I get to ignore
technically.
the first 100 feet.
It does technically by rules as written, but I've always thought that was bullshit. But I guess that's something we'd have to explore if that had happened. Yeah.
I agree.
Oh, actually,
I think it's a bullshit rule.
Alistair
I
thinks to
understand why it's
himself, he
there.
goes, actually, no, I could have saved her 100% without hurting myself. My bad.
Oh, how?
I have a dimension door.
Do you
Have a spell
retain
called
your
Dimension.
velocity when you go through a dimension door? I think you do.
No, but
Like
what I can do
Portal.
is cast it at the top, walk down there, then cast it again to get back up.
Cast it at the top. What? We can just explore this later.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's a 500-foot range, so if it's more than 500 feet, then that's off the table.
You seem confident. So
With Alistair thinking it's 400 feet, he is very confident that he
you
can.
you could cast it if you do retain your velocity. You could cast it like 100 feet above you or something, and then as she falls through it, have it push her back like the other end, just push it pointing up. So she'd jump in and then fall back out at the
Like a
top.
portal gun.
Yeah. Anyway.
Bottomless pit.
Yeah. Anyway.
No, I just love how they're actually doing something that is helping us and learning. I'm sitting there going, what if she had died? What would have happened?
I'll be honest. When she did that, I'm really glad one of you beat her dexterity save because I don't know. She very well may have died. Anyway, that would be a really, really weird death to have.
Make your death saving throw in
That would have
boiling
been funny
water.
as shit, though.
If it makes you feel any better, Alistair, I wouldn't have blamed you.
I think it does a little bit.
However, in front of Six, I would have completely blamed you if he did. I need to be liked. I hope you understand that.
I'm glad you don't sugarcoat it.
So
I know my own character flaws.
Now, if let's say Six jumped down, could he just walk on the wall down there?
I don't think Six would have died. If any
I
of
don't
us,
think he would have either.
any of us had to make that jump,
I think I would have.
I think Six would have been the best one for it.
I suppose, given a round, I would have been able to start running, which would allow me to stay upon the surface of the water as long as I kept moving. But then I would eventually, well, I guess I could try running up the wall, but eventually I would just get tired and drown.
But no, I'm assuming that this is actual conversation me and Alistair are having.
yeah. So
I think he. You know what? We should ask him. Do you think he would want to give it a shot?
No, I'm not gonna do. No,
So as you guys continue discussing the specifics of what would happen if people jumped down there, Six and Bess eventually wrap up their meeting. You guys have, it's maybe noon by the time they're done ish. You guys have a whole day.
Can I
Is
go
there anything
find a
you'd like to
rock,
do?
please? I want to
Like-
find a rock of hysterium.
You want to go out and find one?
Yeah.
I'll go with you. We'll go looking. See what we
Okay,
can find.
you guys are going on a
Ravaged.
bit of a hysterium hunt.
Going
Doran,
on a
I know you wanted to
hysterium.
pray. You do, but You do not get a direct response this time.
Do I feel any like? Do I feel myself like though I'm doing something good?
It's comforting in a weird way.
Well, Gordon smiles to himself afterwards and just kind of whistles, which
Yep.
he can do even though I can't.
Yeah. Bess and Six, would you guys either both make a perception check, or one of you can make it with advantage?
I would like to give advantage to Bess.
Sure.
I'd like to hunt them down and get rid of the advantage.
Aha!
I'm sorry. What am I doing here?
Perception check with advantage.
Thank
Are you looking for
Sorry.
something a similar size to what Yorlin was using?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe a little
I'm
bit
gonna-
smaller, actually.
Maybe a little smaller.
I'm so sorry. What am I rolling?
Perception with advantage.
Perception. Thank you. I'm so sorry. I got poo brain for a second there.
Carson
A
knows.
natural 20. With a natural 20, you guys venture out. The best place you would know to look for hysterium is closer to the city. Along the city walls, where some of the glow is the thickest, you guys do eventually find some crystals growing out from the ground, like adjacent the walls, and are able to harvest a small piece, just slightly smaller than what Yorlin used, and I presume head back to the church?
No,
No? What are you doing with it?
I want to go a little bit away from. We just got the hysterium, but not all the way back to the church.
Okay.
And I want to cast Greater Restoration on the stone.
You cast Greater Restoration on the stone and watch the exact same thing happen.
I pick it up.
You can hold it, and it is no problem now. It is a slightly less opaque and lighter purple stone.
Is it still toxic?
You smell it again, and it has that same very faint smell of brimstone and sulfur.
Okay, hang on here. I think I'm getting an idea.
What are you thinking?
Well, it's a stone. And if I found a piece big enough, I could try melding into it to see what would happen. But I'd need a big piece,
That's
like
that's
as big
called
as
hell,
me.
Bash. You go to hell.
I think that you guys are still under the church.
I know.
Is that?
Um,
Do you think that's stupid to try, Six? Or I don't know. I'm just curious.
I do worry. The hysterium has been shown to be volatile, perhaps a bit unpredictable, without proper supervision, I guess I would say. We could be in over our heads. But I trust you.
Oh,
How many crystal? Did we just get one little crystal, Holden?
I presume you just got the one small shard just to try that with, yeah? It's not a very big deposit. It was just a little growth at the base of one of the walls. Just with a natural 20, you were able to find it rather quickly.
Is it reminiscent of the rocks that were in the mysterious library?
And Belittle Mages Guild? Reminiscent, sort of.
Interesting. That's cool. I'd also talk to Six about the orb on my bed. That wasn't Jeff. I was tired. I wanted to go to bed and didn't want to explain. I'm sorry.
Makes sense.
I'm not trying to keep secrets from you. I promise.
I am.
Don't blame you.
I actually prayed to Mistra for some guidance for the conversation that we had today. And it must have worked because this conversation went a lot better than I thought it would.
Went quite well. That's amazing that you have that connection with Mistra.
Yeah, I didn't really expect that. It's a little bit odd, too, that it showed up in the Church of the Rock. I don't know. Yeah. It was interesting. That's all
Excuse
I
me.
say.
She obviously heard you.
Isn't that nice to know?
It is.
I assume we're walking back to the church.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys make it back and can regroup with Doran and Alistair.
So what did the
Actually-
rock look like?
What?
Well,
What did my rock look like?
Rocky. Doran, it was beautiful.
oh, you're moving all the people.
Mm-hmm. I'm just putting you guys back somewhere where you'd be hanging
Oh,
out.
Well, Doran was
was-
praying. I was gonna go talk to Adric.
Adric's still there.
Oh, okay, good.
What did you want to talk to Adric about?
I wanted to see if he wanted to make mugs with me, because I need a new drinking mug.
I've never made a mug before.
Do you like holding knives and carving things?
Sounds like a good time.
Do you smoke?
What do you have?
On me? Good shit. Back in priest? Shit that'll knock your socks into the next room.
Shit that'll knock your socks into the next room.
Are you wearing socks right now?
Are you?
Yes. I do not like bare feet.
Personal question.
Just know that Einstein never wore socks because he thought they were useless. Sorry, please continue.
Do you wear socks, Jason?
I do.
He thinks
know
they're
Einstein.
useful.
Yeah, obviously not Einstein. Wow.
I mean, he's as close as we got in this world.
Oh, well, thank you.
I mean, there are plenty of
you.
mugs here.
But I want my own. I want one that'll... Personally, I want to make one with a metal bottom so that I can use a spell to heat up my drink instead of prestidigitation, because I think it would look a lot cooler.
That would be pretty
Mm.
good.
The thing is, though, I'm not a metal worker at all. I can barely carve shit. And I feel like that's too stupid of a request to ask somebody who is a metal worker and who can carve something. So I'm kind
No.
of stuck between...
Gold is
You know.
gold. Do you ask somebody for a
Yeah, that's
mug
true.
with a metal bottom? You pay him enough? Nothing stupid.
I have a few people I could set it up. I'm gonna try my hand at carving a mug. If you want to join, I'll be upstairs.
Very well.
I'm gonna go carve a mug.
Out of...
I'm gonna go
Wood.
look for wood to carve a mug.
All right. You find some wood from some of the trees nearby. Why don't you make a carving? I'm going to call this a survival check.
Not how I expected this game to go.
What's that?
Not how I expected tonight's session to
Yeah,
go.
me either. Alistair, you take some time to you find a bit of wood and you're carving, you're whittling, and you start to get the shape of a mug. And as you're starting to get the basic shape of a mug, though it's nothing too impressive, it's a little wobbly and the lip isn't very even. You're starting
Will
to
it
get the
hold liquid?
Yeah, it's kind of more like a misshapen bowl at this point, but you've kind of carved
Boom.
like a handle-ish to it. It's
Learning.
mug-ish, mug adjacent. And as
Mug-ish.
you're
By the
as you're getting kind of like to the basic shape of it, you do see Six and Best returning.
By the end of me having a good mug, I will eventually have proficiency in carving tools.
This can happen.
So that is all I will work on for today. I look at the mug, I go, not bad,
All right.
but not good.
Alistair,
And I
I
put it
like
away.
your bowl.
Bess, I was happier with you not here. This is
I'm-
my mug, Bess.
We-
It's not supposed to be a
we found a
bowl.
Then maybe you
Yeah.
should try harder.
Would you like to put your rock in my bowl, Bess?
My rock is hidden right now, so fuck you.
Oh, Six is like, we found a rock. So
Oh,
I
I
was like,
didn't
you
even
want to
hear
put it in
that.
a bowl?
No. I thought
No.
that was a mug.
I kick the mug into the woods. I
I
say, fuck it, and I just kick it. I punt it in the woods.
Punt
Alistair,
it.
I'm kidding. I'm so sorry. I go to bring him the mug.
Okay, you go
I
find
make
the
my
mug.
way inside.
Actually, Alistair, just make a strength check.
Oh,
Bess, you have been on my ass all night today.
16. Bess, you do eventually. He kicked it a good like 30 or so feet away. You find it. The quote unquote handle completely snapped off.
Can I find the handle?
Yeah.
Can I mend the handle back to the mug?
You can.
I'm
With your
gonna
magic.
do that. That's cantrip, but I'm gonna bring it back and follow.
Okay. So as you all reconvene back downstairs, Bess does give you your mug back.
Alistair looks grumpy as fuck.
I look
Bess
at
is extraordinarily proud of herself.
for what? Ruining his mug?
My foot hurts.
I didn't ruin it. I gave it back to him.
As you walk in, I look at everyone and go, so, how's everyone's day?
Doran, what do you think this is? I say, holding it up to him.
I'd like to look at it and inspect it. Can I tell it's obviously handmade?
Oh yeah.
I'd like to smile and go, this is a piece of craftsmanship. Something that anyone would be happy to have and put in their
I
bed.
turn to Bess and I just go,
And I look at Bess and go, I like to be liked.
I'm not gonna share what I found.
Did she say that out loud?
She mutters it.
I
I'm
go,
not gonna
"Please,
share what I
please,
found.
Please, Shah, everything you say is so important to me.
You are just a kiss ass. I love it.
I-
Alistair's in a better mood now after Doran said that. So he's
Bess, may I
genuinely thankful.
may I
Yes.
recommend something? Can we have him roll a persuasion check on you? You can say no.
Sure.
Okay, Doran, roll a persuasion check, and Bess will interpret the results and see how persuasive you are to her.
Yes,
I'd like to look at. Oh, go ahead. Oh, I thought that I didn't even register that was a persuasion check.
I have it set to be the same modifiers.
Doran, we found out that the stone they are giving you is very beautiful.
Not as beautiful as you, and I smile and start walking off to do whatever the fuck I want to do.
Okay.
6.
Thank you.
So by
Sure.
around 1-ish
Would
p.m.
you like this mug?
Would I like it? I
Yeah,
would like it.
I give it to him.
I would. Thank you.
You have a hand-carved
immediately
quote
fill it
unquote
with-
mug.
I immediately fill it with some booze and sip it out of there.
That is untreated wood. I would be careful.
I think if anyone can handle it, it's 6.
Yeah, and then he goes, "You've licked poison. Never mind. You're fine."
Oh, talk about choosing your own poison.
I'm going to
So-
start using this mug now.
Whoa.
You now have a handcrafted Alistair quote unquote mug.
A piece
I
of
rolled
art.
a fucking 9 on that.
Hey, listen, man, it being kind of mug-ish is pretty good for someone who had no idea what they were doing.
True.
So,
Goodness.
around 1 p.m. Would we like to fast forward through the rest of the day? Would we like to end for tonight and you guys can think of what you want to do with the rest of this day next time? How would
I
we
just
like
finished
to...
my work so I can pay better attention. I apologize. I got an emergency request in, so I finished that off.
You're fine. I
so
didn't
I'm
even
okay to
realize
go
you
for a
were...
while.
Well, I know Clara
was-
works in the morning.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, baby. We
So-
got branch meeting tomorrow.
Yeah, basically what I'm saying is we're going to be wrapping up very shortly here, but
You
I'm
gotta
wondering...
climb up a tree.
Okay.
Do you guys want to just fast forward through the day and tell me what you're doing, or do you want to? How do you want to approach that?
Bess would
Uh,
want to talk to Yorlin more about the stone.
You could easily do so.
Cool. I don't know if people want to say
Six.
what they're doing, and then we do.
Six would follow and hang around with Bess. Otherwise, kind of look for something to make himself slightly useful. So it didn't just look like he was wandering around.
Doran would like to start off by trying to talk to people, make as many friends as possible, and like in my conversation, ask, "Hey, do you know anyone who's a good like wood carver? I have a very special project I'd like work on."
God damn it.
Okay. Alistair, anything, or are you just chilling for today?
I would have kind of sat up and. Is there any way to get to the roof of this building?
Climbing? I mean, like, officially, probably not, but for you, probably. Climbing or magic.
I hear
You know what?
I'll climb it.
Okay, so what is the outside? Is it like, what's the highest point I can get to?
Let me just see here. This is the church. The highest point you could get to would probably be above the what would you call this? The raised platform where the priest stands and does his thing. Above here.
Okay.
The pulpit, the dais.
Something like that. Sure.
Fuck you, Jason.
The pupil
What?
dilated? What?
The stand
Yeah.
thingy.
I feel like I should know this. I went to fucking
Yeah, I do too, actually.
Catholic school. I should know what this is. But
Jason's better than me.
I did.
Andrew would be ashamed of you.
it is a lot of stained glass and stone though. Like climbing would be difficult magically though if you
It is-
teleported.
It is called the pulpit.
Cool.
I figured Jason knew what he was talking about. I just
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get up there, and is this a river or a pond?
That is just a small pond.
Then I'm gonna look this way.
Uh-huh.
And sketch.
Sure, looking that way and sketching. That would be pointed toward. You would be looking. Well, I will mention if you look the exact opposite way, you see lots of dead farmland, but you actually have a fairly decent view of Direwood as a whole, with the castle peeking out slightly to your right and the walls. It's a nice. Looking the other way, it is somewhat alive
And
forest.
I will do one of each. Actually, I will
Yeah.
sketch each
Just
one.
you spend a lot of your day just sitting on top of the church with a couple of lovely views, sketching. Doran, make a general charisma check for the rest of the day to make friends.
Today's the 18th.
I need a make friends check. I seem to do it a lot, and I don't roll well.
With an 8. Not because you're unable to make friends, but because there aren't a lot of people here today. You mostly mingle a little bit with a couple of the monks who don't speak much, and try to talk with some of the guards who don't seem too interested.
Are those like the knights who say knee?
Yeah, I think it's, yeah. They, yeah. You don't hear of anyone who is particularly good at carving wood, but you do slightly more ingratiate yourself into the church, make your presence known, and make your presence as a friend of the church known a little more among some of the regulars here.
Oh, you brought presents?
Yes. And Bess and Six, you guys make your way back to Yorlin's office to speak with him once more.
Is it
And-
the 18th today?
Today in game? Today is now the 18th. Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Doran, if you would like, you are in the church mingling. You could potentially hear this if you wanted to come intervene.
I am going to spend most of not talk like. I want it to be known that I'm looking to ascend among the group members.
Interesting. Okay.
So I want to like ingratiate myself as someone who's not just a friend of the church, but someone who's looking to be part of the church.
A prospective part of the church. Okay, yeah, of course. You can do that.
So I'd be actually more a lot of the past just like, hey, you know how to work with wood? It'd be a lot of like, hey, what was it like ascending for you?
Yeah.
You know.
With an 8, you could easily do that. It's just you won't be able to talk to too many people. But actually, some of the regulars here, most of them would be ascended, so they would be able to tell you a bit more about it.
Is my boy Boros here?
I think it was Barrow.
Barrow.
Barrow is, yes. Barrow is here,
I will spend a lot of time with Barrow.
and he will. He
my
seems rather, glad to chat with you about this sort of stuff. And if you have a few questions for me, you would like to message me, he will answer them. But to wrap up for tonight, Bess and Six, you make your way back into the office to meet with Yorlin.
Yorlin, I came up with a couple more questions to talk to you about. Is now a good time?
Certainly, anytime's a good time if we're talking about the church.
Yes. So as for the purification of the rock, have you and what's her name? Zorro?
Tara?
Tara, thank you.
Tara, yeah.
Tara.
Are you guys the only people who have purified stones, or have others tried?
I'm aware that Tara can. I'm also aware that a couple of the conduits can. I've never seen anyone else try. Usually this duty falls upon me.
Okay, and is it only through the power of the rock that you are able to purify the rock?
I believe so.
Are those without the power of the rock able to purify these?
I've never seen someone try.
What?
Well,
would you offer
here you
any
are.
insights?
What's that?
Would you offer any insights as to what you think? Could that be possible, or?
I think if the glow found you worthy of performing purification upon the rock, I believe you could, possibly. Even if you weren't an official member of the church. If the glow deemed you worthy, why not? The glue.
Interesting.
If you ate
I
enough
also
glue.
wanted to ask, what would have happened if our conversation downstairs hadn't gone as well as it did? It seemed a couple of times they're truly upsetting you guys.
I do feel the need to apologize for Tara. She means well, but she is very abrasive. She gets a lot done around here. If it hadn't gone well, I suppose she would have just refused. Eventually.
For sure. And was there any reason you had us stand specifically in the square that you asked us?
Mostly ritualistic. As we ask the rock for its guidance in our conversations, we do typically have them stand. It is sort of a meeting place, if you will, a ritualistic meeting place. Tara also, I believe, likes the quote-unquote intimidation of it. She thinks that being surrounded by those you're speaking to gets you to speak more openly as you're being
If
watched
only
on all
Zone
sides.
of Truth was acted.
I think it's a little. If you couldn't tell, sometimes we butt heads, but she means well and I respect her decisions.
Oh, it's not like you got like a pit of boiling water underneath it or anything, right? That's ridiculous.
Oh, I always
Does
thought you
he-
were a bit of a kidder.
Does he actually?
Woody Quip's my middle name.
You want to know
Does he actually think we're joking?
You can roll an insight check.
I would love that.
Certainly.
He's like,
On here.
about that joke.
Okay, I confess.
Sorry. Insight?
Yes, ma'am.
Honestly, when we put the water down there, it wasn't boiling.
I think that would be more concerning.
Well, okay.
I have
Think about what you just said.
strawberry starburst swirlers.
Super
Oh.
cool. As far as you can tell,
Oh.
Bess, his laugh seems genuine. He's not giving off any vibes that he's lying or trying to deceive you in any way. He seems very genuine.
Six continues to laugh and just goes, he doesn't know.
I'm sorry. Is there? What do I not know?
Oh, nothing. We should take our leave at this point. Thank you for your time, and thank you for sharing your knowledge with us.
Certainly, anytime.
You have a
May the
wonderful
rock
day.
be
We'll
with you.
probably see you around.
May the glow guide you, he says to Six, smiling heartily at your attempt
Yes.
to speak his language. He seemed to appreciate
For those of us about to rock, I salute us.
that.
Wish I had glow sticks. Start twirling them around.
That's good. Okay. So, Alistair is sketching and having a chill night. Are you guys going to sleep here again tonight?
Yes.
Are there
I would be fine with
are there other options?
There are. It's whatever you guys want to do. You can sleep somewhere
I'm fine
nearby.
staying
You can
again.
sleep here underneath. You can.
I'm gonna see if I can find Adric before I go to bed and see if he
Yeah, he's
Wants
hanging out
to-
down there.
get that good
Oh.
going.
Before bed, I would message Commander Light.
Yeah, certainly.
Commander.
Please do.
I don't know what I'm gonna say yet, so
Okay.
can we do that at the beginning of next session?
Sure, let me make a note.
Thanks,
Um,
honey.
Oh, I also wanted to send one more bird as well.
Okay. Did
Fucking
you...
birds.
This will send Commander...
Oh, actually, I don't know if it would reach. Are more than 50 miles away from Priest now?
You were like just within range at Shine Bright, so yeah, you're a little out of range.
Fuck, never mind then.
Okay. So to wrap tonight up, Doran is spending his time ingratiating himself further, hanging out with Barrow, learning more about the rock and the process he may or may not undergo. Alistair is smoking it up with Azuric, and after sketching and having a relaxing time on top of the church for much of the day.
What's the cloud cover like outside? Can you see the stars?
At night. Very cloudy.
Very cloudy. I'm sleeping inside then.
Yep, okay. Bess will be sending a message to the commander, presumably an update, after having spoken with Yorlin a couple times, along with Six, and performing their own investigations. And we will pick up next time, just as you guys are about to go to bed, the day before the big ritual.